Streaming.
Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation, and now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation, on every continent,
Except one.
from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing called beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out old PA.
Coors in Colorado,
We even left the USA. Labatt up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
Up Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos su cerveza. They grant some more.
fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank some on health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink them all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel. Who knew the Jews could brew?
Oy vey.
Tooheys in Australia.
Or maybe Carlton Draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies,
And you'll end up on your wow!
Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink them all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glasses bottoms up and fill them up again.
That's it.
England,
Guinness,
Ireland.
Tennant's from the Scots.
Fine Stephens. Ice beer.
Reinheitsgebot! Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
So have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't drunk at home! Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink them all!
Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original, cheers!
Slancha!
Slancha! Not Ireland! Slancha from Ireland!
That's right, may the devil know you're not dead. Oh, why I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right, so we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Roast! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan, Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! For Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
Chin-chin.
It's good. Ajabule.
Ajabule!
Ajabule. Ajabule. Read. Have to have enough room on these things.
Right, hey, sun's over.
Yeah, sounds over. Sounds over. Hi, welcome to another wonderful, exciting, informative, ridiculous. Got any more adjectives for me? Over temperature episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. My name is Jamie.
Ich bin eine Estebaner. Which is not real. I'm Steve.
Sounded right.
It's not. I totally messed it up on purpose.
Isn't it Ikaisa though? Isn't that
That's
how
one
you
way of
kind of
putting
say?
it.
My name is.
I have a name or something like that.
I have a name.
I have the name.
I have the name of.
You can say I am or ich heiße.
That's kind of like in Spanish, me llamo, which is I am called. But you can also say yo soy. I am.
Yo soy Esteban.
So anyways.
Well, it's like also when you say you're so many years old, you say I have 8 years or whatever,
Right.
in Spanish. I remember that kind of blew my mind. Like, wow, what an interesting way to put that.
It is a unique way to put it. But they do it. So we are just two guys from the Pacific Northwest and really like beer. And
I think you should too.
okay, that.
And if you're here, watching this, I would hope you do like beer.
You would think they would.
Unless
like
you're
it.
not here for the beer, you're just here for the weirdness. But whatever, that's fine. You're still welcome.
Yeah, you're also.
Unless you drink goes.
Maybe you're still.
We'll take it into consideration.
Jury's out on that one.
We've learned that goza or goza, whatever. We don't consider that a real beer.
Yes, that's we've just decided that. That way we can still say that we like all beer. If we consider beer goose, then we can't say that we like all beer because we don't. Neither one of us. Not too big into the spontaneously fermented or wild beers or stuff.
Yeah.
It could be that we just haven't had a good one yet. But the thing is, we went to a brewery that knows what they're doing, and we drank their beer, and we assumed that they would make good, spontaneously fermented beers, and we didn't like those too much. It does. You could just call them wild beers. Wild beer.
Wild beer.
One bag.
What are you making?
Beer. I am making the same thing you're making, Steve. We making a blonde stout.
Twin.
Twins.
Twins.
Twinsies. No, not strong blondes like it says in the description. Basically, we both read the hot break because we get the hot break and we read the hot break. And if you go to Northwest Brewer Supply website, you should read the hot break, particularly if you're into beer, because there's a lot of good stuff in there. And it's entertaining, and there's good stuff in there.
Informative.
And it's entertaining. Basically, it's a good newsletter. I'm sure some of you have signed up to things and gotten their newsletters, and all their newsletter was just basically
bunch of ads.
That was it. Have you bought this from us yet? No, I haven't, and I don't plan on it. And I'm not going to read your newsletter either because there's no cool stories, there's no articles or anything interesting.
I'm not learning anything,
Yeah. What's that say? 160. Close enough. We'll just turn the heat off.
All right.
You have to give me 5 seconds before you remind me to do things. 5 seconds. I have to find my time. It's in my butt. That didn't sound right. It's in my pocket.
The phrasing on that one.
Yeah, phrasing.
Yeah, blonde stout. If you look at the picture on the recipe that he had sent, it looks kind of like a Coors in a glass, but it's a stout.
Yeah. Basically, it tastes like a stout, but it is blonde.
It's not dark.
It's not dark. And I don't know if it really hails back. I think somebody was just being creative and stuff. But the truth is, the original term stout did not indicate color.
Did not mean dark
it indicated a strong beer, which
Heavy
this
beer,
is
heavy
a strong beer. It gets what, 9 pounds of.
Yeah, we have 9 pounds of liquid.
Well, actually,
extra.
almost 10. 9.9.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember which one it is. Was it the Golden Light or was it the?
I think we went with the Golden Light.
Okay. I know the cans are in the kitchen, but I don't want to get up and go look.
Yeah, because we're lazy.
We believe it's the Reese Golden Light extract.
If you have-
9.9 pounds.
If you make it that far in the episode, You will find out which one it is.
Right, eventually
As will we. We'll find out together.
And then the specialty grains are like pound and a half of flaked barley, half pound of flaked oats, half pound of crystal 40. So yeah, it's gonna have kind of a golden.
How much? A pound and a half of flaked barley?
Yeah, unless that well, the grain bill I'm reading is for the all grain version.
Oh.
And I'm not sure if he put the flaked barley here or not. Because I think he did, because if it was only 1 pound, you can get away with 1 bag for 1 pound. We have 2 pounds of, pretty much 2 pounds of specialty grains here. So I think it's that pound and a half, excuse me, pound and a half of flaked barley, half pound of flaked oats, and then a half pound of crystals. So yeah, 2.5 pounds of specialty grains here, and distributed between two sacks.
Later on in the process, we're adding some cacao nibs or cocoa nibs.
Yeah, if you want to give it a part of a chocolate flavor to it.
And also some coffee.
If you want to do a coffee, make it a coffee stout, chocolate kind of coffee stout, you can do that too. Those are all optional. You don't have to do any of that. So
all of it.
Yeah, the cacao nibs will go in during secondary fermentation, and then the coffee will go in at the end. I have to read the instructions again, but you pretty much what you do is you go get quality whole bean coffee, something that you really enjoy, not Folgers or anything like that, like a real gourmet whole bean coffee, and you coarse grind it. I can't remember how much coffee it is, how many like ounces or whatever, but you cold steep it over a 12 to 24 hour period overnight, and then you pour it into your mash, not your mash, excuse me, your wort at the end, and then you just let it mix it around, and it imparts a coffee flavor on the beer. I've done it before. I made a coffee stout with it once before. Or no, that wasn't a coffee stout. It was a coffee lager. It was a lager, but it was coffee. Had coffee in it. Yeah, the coffee beans came from Trainwreck.
Right.
Yeah. The cacao nibs you soak in vodka for a few days, and it's supposed to, I guess, help sanitize them, and at the same time, I don't know, maybe add a little extra kick. I really don't know. And then you strain them, and then you freeze them, apparently, and then you put them in beer during secondary fermentation. Yeah.
I heard something about the
2 ounces of cacao nibs and 6 ounces of vodka for 4 days, apparently.
I heard something about the alcohol in the vodka, because vodka is higher alcohol. Is like it draws the chocolate flavor out of the nibs better.
Oh.
I think I read that somewhere. I mean, you can, because in some of my beers, I just dump the nibs in.
That's what I did in the past.
And it gives it a chocolatey flavor, especially if you've already put British chocolate malt in there anyways. I mean, it ramps it up a little more. But that's what they said. Apparently the vodka, I mean, one reason we use vodka, of course, is it's a really neutral alcohol, It doesn't have a lot of flavors. It's not like a whiskey or a bourbon or something that has its own flavor, which is vodka. It's potatoes in a bottle. Right?
Hold on. I think I just got a spearfishing attempt here.
What's up?
So apparently, from this phone number, I'm going to look this phone number up. Apparently, this is from the Washington State Department of Transportation.
Oh, okay.
It says, "Good to go. Toll services. Our records show that your vehicle has an outstanding toll." No, it doesn't. It hasn't been anywhere
You have to drive around the tolls.
Where there's been tolls. I've not been on a toll road in I don't know how many years. So if we weren't a live broadcast, I would have a string of colorful metaphors for this text.
Good boy, Steve.
So I'm just laughing at it because it's like, I so want to reply, but if I reply, it's going to indicate there's actually someone on the other end.
Yeah, you kind of just got to go.
I want to tell them to go F off and stuff, but I'm just going to block the number.
You know what I am getting recently is a lot of, we found, this is Chuck from X Business, and we've been notified that your qualifications are perfect for our position. When would you like to start? It's like, not?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's even more to it. I didn't open the text, but
there's more. But wait, there's more.
My vehicle has an outstanding toll charge. To prevent further fees totaling $117.50, please settle the due amount of $11.75 at some URL, which is totally BS because that's not
That's not the Washington State Department of Transportation URL. So I really want to tell them, you know what, you're a bloody idiot.
It's fun watching you try and keep your language clean. Hang in there, Steve. I think
Actually, I'm just gonna report.
we're at the 10-minute mark, so I guess the algorithm police probably aren't going to bother with it.
Well, no,
I would definitely
so
report
keeping
it.
it professional. I just reported it as junk and sent it off. So
The problem is, it is so.
yeah, nice try, scammers. You can eat one.
It would be nice if there was like some law agency that actually had some direct power. Like, oh yeah, we can track them down. They go track them down and then arrest them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not really what I want to
Totally arrest them.
happen. Yes. Forever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But that's a problem, you know. It is tough being a constitutionalist. It really is. I mean, because it's like, why don't we just skip over all this BS legal stuff and due process and stuff? We know they did it. Just smack them hard.
Really hard.
But
Yeah. I was there's when these people stole my wife's phone one time, and they were able to. I don't think she had it locked down, so they were able to get in there and get all her account information. And they decided to order like iPhones and stuff. This was a few years ago, actually, quite a few years ago.
I do remember.
Back when Sprint was still around, because it was a Sprint account she had. She lost her phone, like left it in a bathroom or something somewhere when she was on vacation. I was deployed, and she got a new phone. Everything got replaced, but whoever found her phone stole the account information, ordered like iPhones and stuff. Because all of a sudden, she had this bill for like, I don't know how much it was, like $6,000 or something.
Oh,
Because it was a couple iPhones, some other services, and so she called Sprint and was just like, wait, this is what's going on. So Sprint put the kibosh on it. Nothing happened.
Right.
You know. But yeah, I was when she told me all that. Oh, I was fuming. I'm like, oh, I'd love to find these people, just show them physically show them how stupid they were with what they did. You know, just kick the living crap out of them, man.
Here's a
You
rule
want
of
that
life.
iPhone now, mother trucker? You know.
Here's a rule of life.
How about
Stupid should hurt, and you were stupid, and now
it's gonna hurt. Yeah, I would kick
Yeah.
your freaking teeth in for that, man.
I totally understand it. It's just irritating. It's irritating to the point of angering.
It's the audacity of it.
Yeah.
Is what just boils my blood. It's like, who the f do you think you are?
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like how about I just come knock your freaking teeth down your throat? You know. Then you can ask that question to me. Who do you think I am? You know.
Now we listen to Steve rant.
No, it just pisses me off, man. The audacity of these people.
Obviously.
It's like,
You're ramping yourself up here, bro.
yeah, I know. Because I really want to hurt them bad. Like I really want to hurt those people if I ever find them.
No. Well, you know what? So, have you watched Reacher?
Yes.
Okay. So, Reacher is an incredibly violent show.
Yeah.
You know, he breaks bones and crushes
yeah.
things and hurts people.
He only has to tell those people once.
Yeah. And do you know why it's so popular? Because it's so karmic.
Yeah, it's outlandishly violent, but yeah,
it's like
you're
it's what
satisfied.
you want to see. It's
you're
like
satisfied,
you want to
yeah.
see the bad guy get smacked. You
Well,
want to see him get
That's how
hurt.
the Beekeeper was. You know, high action, low plot movie, but you saw in this case, internet, technology scammer type people get justice served to them in a most brutal way.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yes, take that, you piece of that,
And Steve dances on the edge. We're
Yeah,
family
yeah.
tolerable today.
No, I know
Family
what you mean.
tolerable.
You watch an episode of Reacher and the bad guy really gets it. You're just like, yep, you had it coming. You got no
It's super
sympathy for that guy.
satisfying.
Even though Reacher like totally shattered the guy's rib cage or something, you're just like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is something just.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, it's like good. We wanted that.
Are you gonna do that again now?
Mm-hmm.
All I did was steal your newspaper. Well, tell your friends not to steal newspapers.
Don't steal newspapers. This is what happens to newspaper thieves. But it really is. It's like, hey, by the way, when are you gonna start? I've got
You're
19
done.
minutes left.
When you're done, Stevie. I want enough of. I know we've been having too much of a buffer there, but I just want to make sure we have a good buffer between.
Yeah,
not vying
thanks.
for the. That gives us distraction time as well when we're distracted and not
Which
paying
I'm
attention.
all about distraction time. That's kind
And
of
so that's why the buffer needs to be there.
exactly.
Oh yeah, I was watching. Speaking of like poetic justice and stuff, I was watching some. got sucked in the YouTube hole one night, just hanging out, just clicking on stupid videos, and they were things like karma videos, and where road rager, instant karma road rager gets out and tries to be Billy Bad Butt and ends up getting arrested or whatever. Those were satisfying after about 15-20 minutes of watching that. It's like, yep, how'd that feel?
Yeah. I like the ones where the guy's an idiot in his truck or in a car, like doing something stupid and cuts the person off and then wipes out into a telephone pole.
It's like, yeah, dumbass.
Yeah, that was cool. That was nice to watch. That whole, there's never a cop when you need one.
Right.
Today there was a cop when I didn't need one because I wanted to get to church early. And I was cruising along and so was the Canadian behind me, and then I pulled into the middle lane and they passed me. And as I'm in the middle lane, I was like, oh, there's the sheriff. So I kind of just stayed behind. There was a car in front of me anyway, so I stayed. Right. And the Canadian went, and we all, 3 lanes,
kind of stayed.
Just stayed right there. Nobody passing anybody.
I'm sure that sheriff was just laughing like, yep, saw all that.
I saw you.
Not like my Thursday night with my friend coming back from Seattle. It's probably about 1:30 in the morning. Stone cold sober, wasn't nothing like that. We were just cruising. The highway was empty. My friend was driving. He was probably going about 80 in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, and cops over in the right lane, and he's just like, whoa, and then hits the brakes. So he made it really obvious. Oh yeah, and so they got behind us and pulled us over. Yeah, my friend got a ticket for that one.
Oh,
yeah.
bummer.
But yeah, this cop was not even. I mean, there was no conversation. There was no like, hey, slow it down. It was just like license, registration. Back.
Tell him about the cop.
Here's your ticket.
Tell him about the cop, and that will lead us into serious topic number 1.
Okay. Well, the cop was a Washington State Highway Patrolman, Washington State Trooper, whatever you want to call him. Patrolman. She was a tiny little woman. Tiny little woman. And I don't mean that like in a bad way, but she was just a very small person. And it's just like, I hope you don't encounter a violent person, because yeah, you're armed, but if they get past that, you're done.
Well, and even more so, this is the discussion we had, and that's why it's serious topic number 1. Serious topic number 1. We need a soundtrack for our serious topics.
A little sounding board.
Yeah, boo, little sound effect. We'd only use it like once or twice during a show, because we don't talk as many serious topics as I'd like to. I'm all about controversy and teeth out flame wars. Yes! No.
That's right. Well, you like that. I like ranting about scammers and what I want to do to them.
We could turn this into a violent broadcast.
I don't think people want to see me rant.
They might, man. That stuff.
I mean, some people might agree, like, but
just
like, all right, Steve, I get it. You don't like scammers. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. And today on Northwest Brewmeister, Steve's gonna rant about scammers. Again? Yes, again. He's really passionate about it.
I'm gonna grab some cheese for us, man.
Ooh, good idea. So anyhow, what we're talking about with this serious topic number 1 is that whole really small female officer. And the reality is that if she'd have run up, let's just go, mano a mano, which by the way means hand to hand.
Not man to man.
Not man to man.
Yeah, manos are hands.
Right, so mano a mano, right, you win, 100%. Right. Even if she has training in martial arts, by the way. That whole itty bitty martial arts person destroys the big person, not true. That's why, the Expendables, I forget which one, maybe the second Expendables, but that was a cool thing there when Jet Li fought Dolph Lundgren, and the way Jet Li beat him was by backing under a set of stairs and taking away his size advantage, because he was so big that he couldn't move anymore, But on the side of a highway, of course, we're not saying that you're going to get violent with a policeman on the side of the highway.
But there are people that would, and she's by herself. She was just a tiny person,
right?
And it's just like she would not have the physical strength to hold a large person away, keep him at bay. You know what I mean? She would have to use her weapon.
Exactly. And so there we go. We have this big discussion in the United States, at least, about de-escalation and how cops are shooting people too quick and stuff. But this poor woman would have no choice.
Yeah.
It's like you either kill him or you get killed by him.
Yeah.
You know, that is your choice right now.
This guy's like, 6'2", 280 pounds, and she's like 5'1", 80 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, he's gonna wreck you,
And the thing is, it's like, the same would apply to a small man,
Oh yeah.
but less so because men have more upper body strength just naturally.
Yeah, this isn't a woman bashing thing. It's just a physiology thing and differences,
Right. Right.
Yeah, a small man that size might have a slightly better chances because they have a little more physical body strength,
Right.
but they're probably not gonna be able to do anything. That guy's gonna mop that dude from the floor. You know what I mean?
Well, let's be honest. If you and I run into a 280-pound Hulk, it's like,
Oof.
too close. I'm going to guns. I mean, I get it. Especially, large human males can kill people with their bare hands.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's
just a reality of it. And, unfortunately, especially with what do they call them, Generation Z, the younger generations, they just have this false utopia about them that men and women are physically equal. And it's just like,
they're
no.
the same across the board, and it's like, no.
And that's because of Hollywood and TV shows. It's just like, no. You're giving them a false pretense.
Being nice and not explosive with our language and
Right.
stuff, but this is a pretty controversial project.
No, it
this
is.
is one
I know,
that people
but
don't want to buy into.
it's a fact of life.
Well,
you see it on TV these days, where with like a transgender athlete, there's been cases where it's the opposite. Or I mean, excuse me, let me organize my thoughts. There was a boxing event where one of the athletes was a male transitioning, claiming to be a woman, and they fought in the ring with another woman and just slaughtered that woman. It's like, because you're fighting a dude. Regardless, you're fighting the physiology of that person. Even if they want to be a woman, they have the physiology of a male. I'm not even talking anatomics. I'm talking the physiology, the strength, the muscle structure, the bone structure of a man. And so that gave that person a super unfair advantage against the actual female that he was fighting, he, whatever you want to call him, was fighting in the ring. It's just like, there's no way that was a fair fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean, and it's a refusal to accept reality, and whether you want to get on the side where it says, well, let's force their reality to align with what they want,
right?
With surgery and hormones and stuff, or whether you're on the side where it's like, no, let's force what is broken inside their head to align with reality, whichever side you're on, because that's really what it is. Whichever side you're on with that debate doesn't change reality.
Exactly.
So something's got to change.
People don't want to acknowledge that. It's all everything is so driven by emotion and how I feel. It's just like, well, that doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter in the same sense, that we have to face the reality of it. Yes, you want to feel good, sure. I want to feel good too.
Yeah, I want to be
because
happy
I feel
about my
strongly
life
about something doesn't make it a fact. It's just like, come on.
Well, yeah, and there are things. I'm sure there are things I can't because, but there are things that I would wish were different, and they aren't. They just aren't.
I've seen the opposite in a ring where it wasn't really a woman claiming, it wasn't really a woman claiming to be a transgender to male. She was just a woman fighter saying, I can take you.
Mm-hmm.
And they got in the ring, and the guy decimated her. This wasn't even like like I said, it wasn't even a transgender issue. It was just this woman was convinced that she could take out a man, an equal man of equal size and weight to her, in the same weight class kind of thing. And he stopped her.
Right.
Like the referee was like, yeah, stop, because he just he was just kind of like holding back. You could tell he was holding back. And she got some good hits, and they probably hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He probably, but then he's just like, all right, I'm done, and he just
like, I have to win now.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm done, and then he just and then they had the referee had to stop the fight because she just went down.
And to be fair, just to throw some balance into this discussion, the things that we're talking about are very physical, right now things.
Right.
They're force, they're blunt, they're hard. You know, so like running, like sprints or even short distance running type deal, and punching and fighting and just upper body strength stuff. But there are things where the playing field is much more even. Marksmanship stuff.
Unless you're from Turkey.
Yeah, that guy, nobody's gonna beat him.
A recently divorced guy from Turkey.
One pocket in his shorts, one hand in his shorts pocket, flip flops, sunglasses, not even shooting glasses, sunglasses, one handed. I mean, he shouldn't put a cigarette in his mouth. Just like that. Just whatever.
Meanwhile, all his other contenders are all cyber decked out, you know? Wow.
And of course, there is the satire meme about the divorce and that stuff.
I didn't actually watch the event. I just caught everything all second and third hand with memes and just short little clips of it, you know. But did he really say something about he wants his dog back? Was that real?
No.
Okay,
no, that was total satire.
Okay, I'd heard something like that. Somebody said that he had said that during his like acceptance, and I'm like, did he really say that? You know?
No. This is not like he just woke up one day and decided to join the Olympics either. He's been shooting for a while.
Sure, I would imagine that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's still
Right.
You know, for a lot of us, it's just like
He just seems so layman, you know.
why don't you just walk out of bed and you're like, I'm gonna go shooting target practice. Like, oh hey, I'm gonna go shoot over with those guys. They look like they're having fun.
Oh hell yeah!
It's like, sir, did you realize you're in the Olympics now?
Oh,
no, really?
I saw this on TV once.
Yeah. How'd I do? Really
You
good.
got a silver medal, dude.
Ah, thanks, man.
You beat like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, this cheese is kind of. We need to add some cornstarch to
runny.
this.
All right, let me get a towel.
All right. Oh, way too runny. It's on the floor. It's on your chair. Right. Yeah. Hey, let's bail on this topic for a bit. That was a good topic, but
Well, just to clarify again, this wasn't like a bash on women thing. I know there's a lot of strong women out there that can take a man down too. I know that, you know.
but not that
Yeah.
many. There's not
Right.
a lot. Take back the lot.
We just have to face the reality of it, you know, the physiology of it.
Yeah, well, like, you know, I was telling you about there's that one girl in my school who was just big. She was like over 6 foot. Oh wait, I was telling someone else that actually. But it doesn't matter. When I was in high school, there was a really big, strong girl, right? One.
Oh right. Was she like a power lifter or something, or did she do that? Did she compete?
No, I don't think that was her thing. She was just naturally. She was actually into the VOAG program,
Oh.
but really big, not fat, tall.
She's a big woman, yeah.
Broad, you know, big forearms, just a strong girl. But again, one
yeah.
out of 1,500 students, one, you know, and the biggest male students still bigger than her.
Ah, I see.
You know,
Big old corn-fed guys, you know.
oh yeah. Well, of course, and every time you'd have this discussion, or it'd be an argument in school.
It would, yeah.
You know, her name would come up. It's like, she doesn't count. She's an outlier. You know, that's like saying you have a whole group of people that all make $50,000 an hour, or $50,000 an hour.
I want that job.
I want that job. $50,000
I'll work for about a
a
week
year,
and then I'm done.
right? You have 200 people that make that, and then you throw Elon Musk into the mix.
Oh yeah.
And then it's
The
like,
anomaly.
well, the average is. It's like,
Oh,
no.
no, that's an anomaly right there. Yeah.
No, you kick that guy out. In statistics, you know, ANOVA statistics, some of those computer programs are designed to find the outliers and just boot them.
Right.
It's like, we do not use those because they're
you're too unique, yeah.
they are not the norm. They skew the data and then totally ruin your study. Same idea in an argument. It's like, look, you got to take the average woman. Like, your wife and my wife are pretty close to average, right?
Right, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, not 6 foot.
No.
You know, not 3 feet across the shoulders, right? I mean, it'd be nice because I would stop working. Like, Wendy, pick up the car. I need to change the oil. Thank you, babe. You can put it back down now.
All right. Anyway, we
Okay.
can move on now.
Good. Then let's talk about this stuff.
Oh yes, this substance in this glass.
Mm-hmm.
This is the clone. Well, it's supposed to be a clone of Irish Death. I'm not tasting it yet. I don't know. I racked the wort over to a secondary today.
What is Irish Death? Is it a porter? Brown ale.
I think it falls under the porter umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brewed by Iron Horse Brewery. Yeah, Iron Horse Brewery. I'm not sure where they're out of. I want to probably Oregon or something, but
Not Ireland.
not Ireland. But yeah, Irish Death. That's like their, my knowledge, that's like their trademark beer. You know, they have other death beers as well. They have a PB and Death, which is kind of a sweet peanut butter and jelly flavored stout.
That's kind of weird.
They have a couple other.
I mean, the peanut butter, yeah, the jelly bit.
I don't. It is a peanut butter.
Okay. Peanut butter stouts are good. I like them.
They have a few something death beers, but anyway. So yeah, I wanted to make a clone of the Irish Death because Irish Death's good. It's usually about a 7.5 ABV beer. It's dark. This is looks pretty stouty, you know.
As you can tell, dark.
So this will be the first taste test of the wort after initial fermentation. I racked it into secondary, so I'm gonna let that go for the next couple of weeks, and I'll keg it up and we'll drink it here. So I might even only let it go a month because I did let it sit in primary for 4 weeks. So
Yeah.
I might just do it next week, and I might just keg it next weekend.
It's probably pretty well cleared up.
You know?
I mean, if you've already let it go nearly a month in primary,
Yeah.
I do think you should get it off primary. Get it off the trub, TRUB. Say it however you like. We don't care. Leave it in the comments. They're gonna say it in text, which will leave it exactly where we're at right now. Never mind. Don't put it in the comments. It won't help. Anyways, all right.
Here
Let's
goes.
taste this Irish Death. I like it.
Yeah, that's got the warming effect of it.
A little bit stronger than Irish Death. Because I've had Irish Death, and it is not a belly warmer. And this is a don't drive home after one of these. It might mellow, but
I can't remember if I took a gravity reading or not. Let me consult the notes. Oh, you know what?
terrible about taking gravity readings.
With the recipe I found online, actually, Vinny found it. I don't think I have notes on this one. Online recipe. Yeah, I don't think I took a gravity reading. Which, a lot of home brewers are probably like, what? I just don't care sometimes, man.
Well, it's not. I mean, this is a serious question. What does gravity tell you beyond alcohol? It can tell you calories per beer.
I guess it can tell you if you need to ferment your beer longer or take it off some more because your gravity reading isn't where your target gravity should be.
Which, to be truthful, so if your yeast hasn't eaten up all the sugars, that will change the flavor of your beer. Because yeast hasn't done its full job.
The real serious brewers, they have a target gravity they're going for, and so when they apply all the math to it, the science and the chemistry. Some guys will take multiple gravity readings of the process to make sure that their beer is where it's supposed to be.
And they'll add sugar or water.
Right.
They'll adjust.
Right. They'll adjust
needed.
as needed. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Those guys are just more serious about it than I am. I take gravity readings every now and then when I'm curious to know what how it's going to be. But a lot of times, if I'm just doing someone else's kit, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I want to drink the beer, not because I'm worried about the ABV.
Yeah. I mean, it does tell you the calories, but we don't drink beer for health either. We drink it for the flavor.
The flavor. So
But this one is strong. This is going to be strong.
It's going to be strong. Yeah. This is probably like north of 7.5, man. I don't think it's up there at 8. I think it's between 7.5 and 8.
You might be closing in on 8 with that one. That's pretty. That's a pretty big bite.
Well, these stouts are going to be north of 8, just north of 8, but they're like 8.18 for 2%ers.
Yeah, I'm going to try. I'm going to look up the. Temperature range of the yeast that we're about to use.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna brew this on the upper end of it.
Do yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna do myself. Come on, dude, it's 14 seconds.
No, it's not, because it won't be just 14 seconds. It'll lead into another conversation, another topic, another topic, another topic.
He's lying.
And then
very good.
And then
I'm aware of the
48 minutes later, you finally get your flame on.
Go get the tubs. Go get the tubs.
Multitask, man.
Multitasking leads to multi-errors.
Yes, it is golden light, by the way.
Not
These
a
guys.
surprise. Are you ever going to start yours?
Eventually. When I know it's safe.
It's freaking safe. It's safe, people. It's totally safe. Safe. The most safe. The most safe. They said that it wouldn't be safe, but we showed them it was the most safe. The most safe ever. The safest.
You talking about that submarine?
That was a big deal.
I don't know if it's
That
true,
just
but-
came back into the news.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna do it again.
Yeah,
I
well.
don't think they should do that.
Well, it's not going down there. It's a problem. It's going down there in one that's made out of recycled pop cans.
Ah.
They didn't get down there. But this company, the company that had the crushed submarine, that was like some eco submarine type
Oh.
deal. I mean, it really was. It was an experimental design. It's supposed to be friendly to the environment or something. It was.
Made out of recycled plastic.
Yeah, and it was a bad deal all the way around. I don't know the specifics. I know one of the professionals who died. I don't know if it's his family or what, but there's some stuff like, if our guy had known what he was going down in, he would never have
Never
gone.
would have done it. Yeah, makes sense.
You know, I mean, me myself, it's like, hey, we're gonna go see the Titanic. Have fun. We need you to come with us. Bring it up here, and I'll take a look.
Raise it. I'll go look at it.
Yeah, just go grab that thing, bring it to the top. I'll take a look, and then drop it back down. It's okay.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, why do you have your flame on if you haven't poured your stuff in yet, dude?
Is my flame on?
Yes.
Oh,
Or
wow.
no. Is it?
It
No, that's
should.
my flame. Never mind. Shit. I saw the reflection of it. I could think it was your flame was on.
So intense. It's
I
you
want to have
want
time to
be
hang out afterwards and not like finish everything up and then like, oh, time to go, you know.
We'll be doing. And non-tab.
Of course
Because
not.
why would we put a tab on here?
There's never have on those things.
Jesus. You know who we haven't seen in many, many weeks? Nathan.
No, I noticed that.
Sent him a text. Sent him a text message the other day. He said he was having a problem with his phone.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
So I had a cute thing happen today. I rode over to your house with a spider.
Oh.
And he was a little spider hanging in my window. Yeah, well, he had kind of a web built. I don't know how I got him. I think I left my window.
Oh.
Anyhow, so we're cruising along, doing this spider thing, desperately trying to build a web at 60 miles an hour. It didn't work well.
No, I imagine not.
He kept shooting me little 8-eyed, dirty looks. You gonna slow down? It's like, no, I'm not gonna slow down, man. It's my truck, not yours.
By the spider. You gonna slow down? No.
He's like to the side, come here, thread. Oh my god, I said, no, gust of wind, what that?
Like, trying to hook this guy. Oh!
Oh. Look, man, what's wrong with 50? Whose truck is this? You were not invited. You're lucky I don't just flip you out into the road and let you get squashed by an 18-wheeler. By the way, he's living in your lawn right now. Just in case you were wondering. May I borrow the ladle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I cracked up, that couple weeks ago. We were, during work, it was early enough, it was still daylight, and, the engineer was turning the engines on the airplane. I'm out there, as the flight line coordinator guy, the safety observer, making sure everything's going as smooth as it is. I'm looking around, I look down, there's a squished spider right below me. I'm like, You got run over by an airplane, didn't you?
I have no place to put this.
It was just funny. He was like, huh, where'd you come from?
You are flat.
I just thought it was funny. It was out in the middle of the flight line, you know. He was all just kind of cruising, and all of a sudden,
That was pretty
by
much
an
his
airplane
whole
that
life.
taxied by, you know.
Poor guy.
He's probably about that big around with his legs. Again, he might have been a rolling pin might have spread him out a bit bigger than he really is.
Yeah, I don't kill spiders.
Not either. I take him outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even inside the house.
Yeah, he just picks him up.
It's like,
She's not-
there
Yeah, my
are some that
daughter. Let me emphasize, my daughter is not afraid of spiders.
There are some that are venomous, kiddo. You
Oh, yeah,
you
I've-
need
I've
to
made that
know
clear to her,
which
like-
ones.
Don't pick it up until you know what it is. Even non-venomous spiders will bite you.
Yeah, and you get like an itchy bump or something
Yeah.
from them. Like actually one of the bigger spiders we have up here. We always call them barn spiders, but they're an orb weaver of sorts. They're part of the orb weaver's family. But they're the bigger ones. They're usually kind of orangey colors and stuff. They come out in the fall and they're everywhere. At least they are at my house. You can't walk from my front door to my suburban without walking through 3 spider webs because, like, geez, it's only been 6 hours.
Guys work fast.
Anyhow, they're harmless. Kind of scary because they're bigger,
Oh.
but I've caught them before. Not on purpose because they're kind of scary because they're bigger, but they're not a big. It's very unlikely that they will bite you.
Right.
But hobo spiders and some of the others, well, they'll put a bite on you. And they have that necrotic venom, so it,
Right.
so it, it does bad things. The venom does bad things.
It dissolves tissue, literally.
Yeah. And for guys like you and me that got a little more padding around us, it's actually worse. Because if they bite you in a fatty area,
Yeah.
it really goes to town.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, yum, 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 yum. Next time you have this huge, oh my god.
Yeah, go ahead, look it up online. Get pictures of necrotic spider bites.
Yeah, that's bad.
Don't do it while you're eating.
Because you got to go to the doctor, they got to cut it open and then drain it and then
Excise the necrotic tissue.
cut all the tissue off and then hopefully they caught it and they're able to treat it, with the antibiotics and stuff. You're gonna be scarred. It's gonna have something to scar, Ah, we have a song called "Necrotic Feast."
And mental people wonder why normal people worry about their mental health. Necrotic Feast. Necrotic Feast. The name of the song is Necrotic Feast.
Pretty brutal.
It's brutal. Brutal.
But it's not like about eating necrotic flesh. It's kind of a.
What is it about?
Like
spider bites?
No, I'm trying to remember the words to it. I didn't write the words.
Right.
It's one of Zach's songs. I want to say it's like virus kind of
Viral?
thing. Yeah. Virus spreads. And
Like a real virus? Like
spreads and kills everybody.
kind of flu virus type deal?
Maybe more probably than the lines of.
On a click.
I can't.
No, there has been no thing where that has happened.
No, not historically. I mean,
Oh, you're wondering if
Yeah, I can't remember
if
it,
his
yeah.
virus that he made up for his song.
turn people into like man-eating zombies. I can't remember.
I hope not.
Because we don't have a vocalist, so I don't hear the words anymore.
Yeah, I really hope not because that is such a tired trope. How many zombie movies have come out with the? It went from the nuclear radiation thing in the original zombie movies,
Right.
and now it's a virus. And so the basic premise is the same for all of them, like 28 days later, all those different movies. World War Z, it's all a virus. But different ones are different, you know.
Yeah.
Some, they just turn crazy and they kill. You know.
Oh yeah,
Some,
Walking Dead kind of made it cool again, and then Walking Dead got tired.
oh yeah, I got tired. I got tired of Walking Dead after, like, I didn't even make it through the first season. Like, you know,
Neither
we're
did I,
gonna make
man.
a show about zombies. I want zombies to be in it. And there's no zombies in this,
Yeah, it
but
was
there
all-
was zombies in episode 1.
It was all drama.
Yes, and that's exactly right. After that, it was just drama.
Yeah, I never made it to the end of season 1 either. I was like, I tried a couple times to do it, and it's like, this is just too boring.
It was, because it was all drama.
It was all
It's like,
drama.
where are the zombies? You know? And it was all gloomy drama because they're living in a post-apocalyptic world where everybody was a zombie. But apparently not, because there were no zombies. So there's a whole bunch of invisible zombies that never showed up. And apparently,
You hear about these zombies.
yeah, you can turn my flame back on, by the way.
Oh, okay.
See? Look at that. On top of things. Okay, maybe not.
Alright. My sack's ready.
Stop it. Hmm.
Yes.
Just noticed that you have a problem.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And now I've joined you in this problem, so now we both have a problem. I could probably fix this problem. So, I don't know about you, but it feels thick as fog in this garage.
Yeah, air is heavy. There's a lot of humidity up. Ah, stop it.
We're just gonna go ahead and open the door.
Sure.
So, are you like me? In that every time you open a garage door, you hear Beethoven's Ode to Joy? No, I guess that's
I guess
only
not.
me.
I don't recall. I was trying to remember. I heard.
Oh yeah, you've heard it. Bum 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 bum.
Oh no,
bum,
I know
bum.
the music. I was thinking back. Did I hear that when you opened the door?
It's been used in a lot of opening doors type scenes in movies.
Okay.
Like Die Hard, when they finally broke into the vault,
Okay.
they had Ode to Joy playing.
My God, this thing's starting to irritate me.
Oh,
Are we out of beer?
and we have hit the bottom.
Get two? Oh, almost.
Yeah, you got one. I got this.
Put it out.
Oh,
And you made an ice cream sundae out of it.
ooh, that is thick. I'm just gonna roll with that.
You got sediment in there.
Lots of.
You are gonna be gassy.
In fact,
Give that a minute and then we'll see. I might have to change course.
Yeah, that looks a little thick, man.
Like I could taste it on my teeth, like a fine dust on my teeth.
It's like
Yeah, I think I got the very bottom. We're just gonna go ahead and water your wife's rose. You're gonna love it. Everyone knows that roses love beer. Sure. And then I'm gonna steal some of your beer back. It's still sedimenty. Oh, not nearly as hot. Oh, that's gonna be hot.
I'm tough.
You know, we need to make just little tiny hooks that we can clip onto the spoons. It wouldn't be hard. Just a little loop of copper with a hook.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kick off my timer. I have a 30-minute.
I think now
Alright.
we can go to pot cam for a bit. Yes, pot cam.
Bring on the pot cam.
Bring on pot cam.
Okay. Ooh, excuse me.
And this is before and after the liquid malt. This is about the color it's going to be at the end. In that kind of grayish dishwater soup color. This is the color that it starts at. Enjoy pot cam.
Alright. Alright, let's do cleanup cam.
Good idea. Ah, how did I get on my forearm, man?
What did you do?
I don't know.
Alright. Making progress.
Oh yeah.
Did you get
Ah,
enemy on you or?
yeah.
Oh. It happens, man.
It does happen. Whoa, what the? Yeah, that's how I would take care of that.
What was all that?
That was grain dust from it.
How did it get over your computer though?
I don't know, because it was way over there. Oh,
You fall? I don't know how that happened. What a strange experience. What a strange man.
I'm going to try and drink some of this non-sedimenty beer.
There you go.
You know, I just realized I did not share the broadcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if that impacts things or not, but...
Well, nobody knows to come here. I think people click on it when they see it in the, the chat box there.
Yeah, we're going to hit it here in just a minute.
It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, come on. Stop doing that. Probably wants in.
No. Bags.
All right. Give you a hand.
So no ranting like a sailor. 12-year-old. How old are you?
About a month. Should be 19.
You get old like me and your dad, 1 or 2 years isn't. More like the dad. He's older. Ancient. Can't believe I forgot to share. How will our audience of 3 ever find us?
Told to get out of my car. Water bottle.
So deceptive. Log on to YouTube, and now it says that 2 are watching, and both of them are me. Erlenbacher, 0.0% alcohol. Okay. Okie dokie. Erlenbacher. Where is Perlenbacher from? Why does it say there's still 2 people watching? Because I am not watching anymore. I am gone. Gone. Wow, I have a lot of. Ooh. Hot break happening. Love the hot break. One of the coolest things. Need like a zoom function on the camera. Oh, the hot break's happening.
Oh.
What am I? Microphone's still on.
Well, in the broadcast at this point.
Yes, we can get away with things now. Yeah, we got fixed.
No, I'm frustrated because the whole under sink of my kitchen's flooded.
Oh no, what happened? Did a pipe give up?
Nah, not so much. The water shutoff valves that are in the sink for the,
Yeah.
the sink, one of them, if it's open too far, it leaks.
Oh.
And apparently it had been open too much. And I had a catch in there, but the catch was overflowed. And so the underside of the sink is all wet now.
Oh.
Kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to get rid of that sink because I use that sprayer spout thing that's on the sink, but it gets caught on things. So you pull it up, and then you end up yanking that shutoff valve the wrong way. And then I think that's what happens is yanking it up. It turned it
Catches on it.
It catches and it turned it too far on, and so it actually leaks.
Oh.
So I had to do is turn it to the right a little bit, and then it stopped leaking. But I might end up just replacing those valves here. But I want to get a new sink, but I want that sprayer thing to be part of the sink nozzle itself so I can just pull
So you
it down.
just pull it right off the nozzle.
Yeah, not actually for
Not a separate sprayer
Yeah.
off to the side.
So like 1980s.
I feel like my house is 1950s, which is pretty good because my house was built in 48. So 1950s is an
I
update.
thought your house was built like 1952.
Maybe it was 52.
So I thought you
My
told
house was built a long
me.
time
Maybe it
ago.
was built in 1958. I don't know. I thought you told me it was built in the 50s. So a friend of mine, he and his recent wife, they have a house out in Mount Vernon area.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently their house was built in 1913. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, 1913. I don't know where it is. It's probably on some land kind of thing.
Yeah. That's really old. But you ever go back to the East Coast?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my
When
dad.
was their house built? 1812.
Yeah, some of those houses they have 1700s on
Oh
them.
yeah.
1792, 17, whatever. It's like, holy crap.
Well, there was. Check this out. I lived in Fitchburg, Massachusetts for a little bit. It was just my dad and me.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Army because Fort Devens, Massachusetts is kind of near Fitchburg. It was a little bit of a commute, but
Right?
anyway, we lived there, and across, near my house, you could see it from my house, was a graveyard. And this graveyard was like the perfect Halloween graveyard because it was on a hill.
Oh.
It was on a hill, and so you had like the 17th or 18th and 19th century style headstones on it. So it was like a perfect Halloween one. And I remember walking around up there before, reading headstones, and there was some that were like late 1700s in there, like 1778 or something like that, or whatever, whatever. It's just like, damn.
Yeah, that's some old stuff.
That graveyard's been for a long time.
When we were in England, Wendy, I think we visited every graveyard in Kent. Because Wendy loved them, and she wandered through those things.
All those old
Look at
graveyards.
this one, 14 something. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
That little chunk of rock's been there. There's nothing under there, That's gone.
Oh yeah, it's dust.
Well, actually, the bones will hang around for a long time.
Oh, they've got to. As long as bones. I think. I mean, they find bones that are thousands of years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
bones hang out for a long
There's
time.
definitely
As bones,
nothing else.
not fossils. Bones.
Bones,
They are
yeah.
bones. Yeah. All the soft tissue, that goes away
gone. Yeah.
super quick. Unless you're up on the surface, in which case the mice and the rats and various other nibbly creatures.
Or you're Egyptian.
Well, in that case, some of the soft tissue survives too, but only the pharaohs.
That's what I
and
mean. Yeah, those people that
the
were like
rich people.
There were people that were
mummified.
not a regular, rabble.
Yeah, the rabble.
No, I mean like the mummified ones. Yeah, they still have flesh on them. Even though it's not moisturized or anything.
It's like in the mummy.
It's got teeth.
Still sticky.
Oh, this guy's really juicy.
Oh. Yeah, so if you ever find a sticky mummy, just wrap it back up, lock that thing down,
It's like, oh.
throw a few extra bands on it, find yourself a Wiccan witch or whatever you got.
Whatever you got.
It's like, can you put a sealing spell on this? It's like, are you wicked? Nope, but today, whatever.
Today whatever you need me to be.
Yep, whatever you need me to be. We need to lock this thing down.
So we're having spaghetti for dinner tonight.
Oh, I like spaghetti. It's good.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with spaghetti.
No, it's easy to make. It's inexpensive. You can make a lot of it
Mm-hmm.
in one setting, you know. Hot break.
Oh, good. That's a good hot break too.
You know.
Lots of little wormies. Little protein chunks.
What's the next topic? Movies?
Well,
I can't really. I don't.
what
think I
was?
can
Do you
reliably
remember the
discuss
outline?
movies.
The outline was blah 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 blah. Politics.
Beer,
Politics?
beer. Politics.
No, it was politics. Movie.
Movie. But I don't even know what's out these days. I don't pay attention anymore because most modern movies are just crap. I think.
Mm-hmm.
At least late. There's been enough crap movies the last few years. I don't even care anymore. You know, because nothing's original.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nothing is original at all. Everything's a freaking reboot or some kind of DEI version of the movie. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't care for, you know. And even when they try to do a reimagining of a movie, you know, not even counting DEI or whatever, just a reimagining of a movie, they don't do it right.
No.
You know.
I think part of it's because we like what was, particularly if it was good,
Yeah.
right? Now some things, unless you're me, like take Dune. Not the book. I'm not a big Frank Hebert fan. And I've tried to read more of his stuff than just Dune, and it's just like, slog. And Dune itself was a slog for me. And I'm one of those people that reads a paragraph at a time. You know?
Right.
I don't read a page at a time like some of those speed readers, but I don't read sentences. I read paragraphs. You know, bam, 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 bam. I read really fast. And when you read fast enough like that, the action is almost movie-like
Almost
if your
movie-like,
imagination is kicking. You know, not with the Frank Hebert stuff.
Herbert.
Right.
No, it's Herbert, not Hebert. It's Herbert.
I know now.
So. Anyway, not that
14
it matters.
seconds ago, I didn't know.
I mean, it's fine. Now you know.
Anyways, let's switch back to normal cam.
So Dune.
Because that can bring us to interesting topic number 2, because you mentioned DEI.
Oh, all right.
Alright. And this is not an attack thing, right? Because, dear viewer, of which there might be one, because it still says we have 2 viewers. So somebody's watching us. We see you. Anyways, you know, even when we take on controversial topics, I think it's important to not take them on in a, for lack of a better
we're
term,
not trying to attack it. We're just going to
right-wing extremist
Right.
type, you know, insulting way. But you're right. I have the one friend on Facebook. The only friend. Wait, correction. I just realized that I have 2 friends on Facebook who I have never met face to face. I didn't realize this until just the other day.
Wow.
And the other one is the husband of a friend of a girl I went to college with.
Oh, okay.
In any case, but he seems like a pretty cool guy, just based off his posts, which align with my political ideology perfectly. So of course he's a cool guy. But more seriously, my other friend, who I've never met, but I've done some musical work for her. You know, she's the composer out of Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
And as an aside, she's actually a really good composer. You know, one of the things I really like about her, she just did one. It was kind of like a musical representation of a robin. You know, because robins are migratory type deal. You know, 'cause in the spring, the robins are showing up. That's one of the signs of spring, is that the robins are here. Anyhow, she wrote a piece, and she managed to get it, I don't know if it was performed or just a reading, but it sounded good. But it sounded good. It wasn't like random little notes, beep, blah, blah, blah here, and blah, blah, doop, doop there, and all this other stuff. It was like, look, there's melody, there's a harmonic progression that makes sense.
And I will say, it was the most majestic robin I've ever heard. I mean, this was a majestic piece. It was like that majestic metal, like Final Countdown type stuff.
Oh, and power
Except,
metal.
but it was classical. It was classical
Right.
music, right? Term used loosely, orchestral music. In any case, she posted something about Kamala Harris. It's Kamala, apparently. Apparently, it's Kamala. That's how she pronounces her name, like Kamala.
So this is where you put the accent mark in a
Yeah, and it's just like, and to be fair, there's another side thing that we'll get into in a minute if I remember. But she was talking about the whole DEI thing and how the right wing is posting. What did she say? I forget they were, but they were hot takes that were like shallow and uninformed about the DEI thing, and how Kamala is a DEI hire. Like, that's not fair. Nobody's looked at her record, and et cetera, et cetera. The problem is, I thought about that because I gave it serious thought, because she is not someone that I engage with just attack, right?
Right.
I got a couple friends that they post something and I'm on the opposite side right away. Even if I disagree with the opposite side, I'm on the opposite side, and I attack and they attack back, and all their friends come in, and it's just a flame war, and it's fun, right? She's not one of those, right? I don't want to attack her, but neither do I back up on my principles if I decide to comment on one of her posts. So when I decide to comment on one of her posts,
Sure.
I usually try and be balanced, sensitive, not a jerk. Basically, not a jerk if I disagree with her. So the other part of her post was like something about black people in tan suits, and they're not allowed to do that. Of course, that references the whole world went insane because Barack Obama wore a tan suit. I don't know why anybody. Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
It's like he could have worn a purple suit with a green tie, and like, okay, that's the colors. It's like, it'd be nice if there was something besides blue and gray and black. Men suffer in the fashion department. That's what we get: blue, gray, black. You can change the color. Oh, look at his tie. Yeah, the tie. Wow, that changes everything. He's wearing a red tie. He's wearing a blue tie. But pretty much that's the only colors you're allowed for ties. Blue and red. Fortunately, it doesn't have to reflect your political affiliation. But that's it.
I'm gonna wear an orange tie.
I think you should. And I think you should wear like an Ace of Spades coat with your next suit. Something cool. Maybe not. Question marks. You could be the Riddler.
Yeah. There you go. That works.
There you go. All right. In any case, so my first comment was funny. It's like, I'm totally with you on the tan suit things. I mean, like, so many earth tones. Has anyone heard of color contrasting? Sheesh. She laughed at that one. But the other thing, so then I came back about, but the problem with poor Kamala is that, and I don't like saying Kamala, so let's call her Harris, because we don't call Biden Joe. We don't call Trump Donald. Right? It's Trump, it's Biden, it's Harris. So, Harris, one of the difficulties she faces is that Biden said, I'm going to pick, he said I prefer. So let's not put words in his mouth. But he said, I prefer a female vice presidential running mate, and I prefer a non-white vice presidential running mate.
Right. Okay.
And it's like, when that comes out of his mouth, it's like, I'm sorry, you weren't chosen on your qualifications. You were chosen because you're female and you're not white. And that's rough on her, right? That's not actually
it's
a
not her
slam
fault.
on her. That's
Yeah.
not her fault at
Yeah.
all. I mean, she can't help it that she's she and that she's half black, half Indian. She can't help that. That's how she was born. And she had a political career in California. Now, how she gained her success is up for debate.
I don't know.
And that's the attack that I'm just really not cool with that. I think I really wish we would run on not so much incompetency and things like that, but just on, just like, this is what they did. And then you go, well, is that good or bad? All right, so take various hot button topics, right? So for half the country, if you were successful in ensuring that abortion
was available in your state and ensuring that, you know, women could have abortions whenever they wanted for whatever reason, for half the country, that's a good thing. And you did good things. You managed to do that. And that's cool. And I'm going to vote for you because you managed to do that. Right? For half the country, that's bad.
Right.
It's like, I am not going to vote for you because this is what you did. You made sure that abortion was legal. And we feel that abortion should be illegal. Take it with guns, the same thing. You know? If you were some sort of governor or senator and you worked really hard to ensure that gun rights were as unrestricted as possible, you voted against every, you know, type of gun restriction there was and things like that, half the country, maybe a little more now because the world's a little more violent place, at least it appears so, and there's a lot of people that want guns now, at least in the United States.
Right.
But anyways, half the country is going to be like, that's good. We like
this.
you. We're going to vote for you. And half the country is going to be like, no, that's bad. We need to take away all guns. Guns are dangerous. And so we're going to vote against you, right? None of this has anything to do with the color, the gender, hair color, eye color, IQ, anything. It's what you did. This is what you did. I don't like what you did, so I'm not going to vote for you.
Vote for it. Yeah.
I like what you did. I am going to vote for you because, you know, it's like, well, they're a great politician. It's like, yeah, but they put laws into place that I don't like. So
Why would I vote you in?
it's like, I don't think they're a bad politician. I think they're very successful, and I call that dangerous.
And they
because,
support things I don't support, so I'm not going to vote for them.
And so for me, that's dangerous,
Yeah.
right? That's bad. We don't want someone who's good at the job in there doing the job and successfully doing things that I don't want, right? We'd rather have an idiot who does things that I do want. Like, how successful was he? Not very. You know, not much got done, but that's okay, because at least nothing changed.
Nothing, yeah.
You know? So it's one of those things where it's like, she was, but we don't go off that, right? We go off of, you know, Orange Man bad. We go off of personal lifestyles. I personally think that there should be something to that, but I don't think we can use that anymore. You know, it's like they cannot be faithful to their wife, you know, or they can't be faithful to their husband. Like, I think that should sway me. But here's the deal. We voted Bill Clinton back in knowing about his sexual proclivities.
Right.
Once that happened, it's like, no, you don't get to use that anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, we have decided that we don't care about the moral lifestyle of the person we put into office. You know, if they break the law, of course, that's one thing. Although, to be honest, if Trump gets back into office, we won't be able to say that anymore either. It's like, who'd you vote into office? Yeah, he's a serial killer. Yeah, he kind of turned himself around. They installed a computer in his solitary confinement cell. People voted for him. He's in. It's like, what? I mean, you know, once you vote a felon in, you vote a felon in, and now it's like.
Is he officially charged? And
Oh yeah,
guilty of
he
these
is
felonies?
he is convicted now. Of course, the appeal is in process, and we'll see what happens with all that. That's the only one they're going to get him on.
What's the charge actually?
The charge was
mishandling or something? What is it about?
it was basically duplicitous financial reporting.
Oh.
I mean, the
I gotta get
felony.
my cans.
Yeah, go ahead. But the felony that he was charged with, or the felonies, were like these white collar paper things type deal.
okay.
It's just like
Yeah, I
dumb.
knew it was like white collar stuff. I didn't.
Yeah,
I wasn't
it
sure.
was like nobody got like physically injured because of it. Go. Eventually, this is gonna boil. Hasn't boiled yet. So anyways, on the one hand, you know, Kamala Harris has had a career politically. You know, she has had a career, right? Now, some people really attack her as to how she initially got her foot in the door, and it's kind of Schrodinger's conspiracy as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
You know,
you never know what to really believe type deal.
Oh, and
Because apparently she did have a relationship with a guy who was politically connected, if you will, and he was still technically married to his wife at the time when she was having the relationship. And
is this before she was a Harris?
this was the guy's name was Willie Brown. That was the big deal. However, and the reason I say that this stuff is kind of factual is because I've heard counter arguments against this from people who are on the other side, and they said, and their response was kind of pathetic. It was like, but he was separated from his wife. It's like, no.
That's a weak argument.
I don't buy that. They were separated. Oh. Let's go to Pop Can.
Yep. I want to get your hops.
Well, I'm gonna get this under control before. Which hops are going first, by the way? Actually, I can't get my hops. This is gonna go nuts.
East Kent Goldings.
EKG first.
EKG.
Oh, that is you. So anyhow, that's weak sauce. That whole he was separated from his wife, and so that makes it okay. It's like, no, it doesn't. If you want to go hardcore religious, it doesn't make it. It's like he was divorced and now he sucks. You can't touch. Or she's divorced. You can't touch her. That's if you want to go hardcore religion. But just general morality, it's like no. You gotta at least get to divorced. You can't do the whole. The whole. He was separated. No. That's just me, As we addressed, we can no longer apply personal morality to the argument. Now we can apply it to our own voting, of course,
Sure.
And I would like to as much as I could. Problem is when everybody's a scumbag, it's like, oh shoot, which scumbag is the least scummy? Really nice the way you're holding your sax.
Finally decided to start playing, huh?
Maybe. Well, you weren't playing, so somebody had to kick that off. It's usually my job to play the straight guy.
I would hope so.
Controversy! You know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
Okay. A little more oomph. I don't think we're in danger of boiling over anymore. So.
Not anymore. You're probably safe now.
Okay, so EKG at 60. When's the next one going?
10. 10 minutos.
East Kent Goldings. And whatever this stuff is. Fuddle. Alright. Be honest. Whenever you read Fuggle, do you think Harry Potter?
Yeah, I think Harry Potter.
Totally
I think
Harry Potter.
little fuzzy creature. Oh, look, it's a Fuggle.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So anywho, that's poor Kamala. She's in that boat. It's like, on the one hand, she has a political career. The things that she's done during her political career and her political outlook on things kind of make it so that I don't want to vote for her. But it's not because of how she managed to get into office in California. And I don't think that she was necessarily bad at her job. I just disagree with the policies that she made and set in place and all that fun stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep, I follow you.
And I think more people should base their political views on that. It's like, look, stop worrying about this, that, and the other.
You're trying to make it objective. Which it should be. I agree. But
you're right. It's a lost
cause. It's not going to be. It's a lost cause. It really is. In this country, it's a lost cause.
Oh, not just this country.
Objectivity and politics do not mix.
Yeah.
It's all subjective and emotional.
Yep. Emotions rule the game. Which to a great extent, emotions have ruled. I think emotions have been ruling out over objectivity for millennia.
Yeah. I'm sure they have.
I mean, we're an emotional creature. That's just the human creature. And it is just a 1 hour boil, right?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Dear viewer, whenever you make beer, you should read the recipe before you start to make the beer. And if you don't read the recipe before you start to make the beer, you should at least read the recipe at some point during the process.
I did read the recipe.
I know, I didn't. I'm totally relying on you, man.
No, I got you, man.
I totally forgot the other thing that was like, it could have been serious topic number 3. Maybe I'll remember it in a minute. It was just there was too many asides getting to my main point, which is one of my weaknesses. And it's like, excuse me, yes, half an hour ago you had a point. And you have yet to even extrapolate upon that point because you've introduced 7 other tangential topics, which are some interesting, some not. Could we get to the point? I would, if I remembered what my point was. So it's rough for Kamala because, you know, she kind of is a DEI hire. She was hired not because of her skills, but here's the thing: it's like, you know, how much can you judge that, right? Because who did she choose for her running mate? A white male.
Really?
Yep. Tim Walz, Minnesota, governor of Minnesota.
Huh.
That's he's very left, much like her, right? So they agree politically, which of course they would. You don't want to.
Right.
You don't want to get.
That makes sense. You know.
On the opposite side of the
You did start your
spectrum.
timer, right?
I started my timer.
Well, we have been down this road before where you didn't start the timer.
Did you get the chill water?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'll shut up now.
You already
Yes.
asked me that earlier.
I started my timer. Yes,
Okay.
I know. I have like.
And it wasn't an attack. It was a legit.
I know. I'm
You
just
know?
being silly, but you are right. There have been many episodes
Like,
where I've been like,
how
hey,
long
how
have I been
long
going?
have I been going? I don't know.
Maybe 10, 15 minutes?
Sounds good. 15 minutes. But no, I started it today.
Okay.
But anyhow, but yeah, white male, right? And I guarantee you that his skin color was a factor. Certain people, like apparently another guy that was a contender, and I think this is a little bit of a conspiracy theory bit here, or maybe not. So there was another governor out there. His name is Josh Shapiro.
Shapiro, yeah.
Guess what that is, right?
Yeah.
So
He's Jewish.
Exactly. So we can't choose him, not necessarily because we hate Jews, right? I don't really think that's a big thing in America anymore. There are always jerks.
There's always haters, you know.
I mean, to be more accurate, there are always assholes out there that are going to, you know, they are going to be truly racist. They're going to be white supremacists. They're going to be black supremacists. You know,
Right.
they're going to be Latino supremacists. Whatever. They're going to hate other races based on the race, right? That's always going to. You're always going to deal with that chunk of humanity, and that's in every corner of the planet.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Not just white people.
Yeah, and it is not
Let's
just
get over
the
that.
United States. But in any case, but here's a more important thing, right? Right now, Israel is fighting a war against Hamas. And a lot of quote-unquote innocent Palestinians, if you buy into that, are getting hurt.
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, the kids, yes, the kids are innocent. Adult Palestinians, it's a lot harder to tell. The Wall Street Journal put out that article where they found a civilian Palestinian doctor that was holding 4 Jewish hostages for Hamas. He was not Hamas, but the Jewish hostages were in his house being held by him. You hear stories like that, it's like, oh, it's hard to say the words innocent Palestinian.
Right.
But let's do the benefit of the doubt and say there are. The point is that
Right. Right now, Israel is fighting a war. Um, 8 months ago, a year ago, Biden really started to get into trouble with the Islamic portion, particularly in Minnesota and some other places, because of course the United States supports Israel, and these people said we're not voting for Biden because he supports Israel. Well, then they got a problem. So we can't vote for Josh. We can't choose Josh Shapiro as our vice presidential running mate, not because we hate Jews, but because we've got this big Islamic chunk of people that do use that as a reason that they vote. And to be honest, it's kind of bullshit too. Like, these are not good reasons to do things.
No, it's driven by emotion,
Yeah.
and
And it's also driven by not the desire to govern the country and improve the country, but to get power. And that is a real problem. We need to do something. We need to clean up. I mean, I hate to use Trump's term. Actually, I don't. I don't hate to use term. We need to drain the swamp. And by that, I mean, it's like, all right, I'll be out. Why? Because we're bulldozing it. That building's been around since 1692. Yeah, in a minute, you're going to say that building had been around since 1692 because it's rubble. I don't care if it's the White House. I don't care if it's, what is Congress called? Does it have? The White House is the White House. Does Congress have a name?
don't they meet at the Capitol building?
Capitol building? Stuff.
Yeah.
They just bulldoze the whole thing. Fire every single one. It's like, you're out. Go home. Like, what are we going to do? Go be a welder. I can't weld. It's only $5,000 to go to trade school. You can do it. Go.
You made a lot of money.
Yeah, you got a lot of money. You could go to any trade school you want. The best trade schools in the nation. I will tell you, as someone who at the age of 50 decided to become a diesel mechanic, sometimes that can be a hard thing. Oh, I am too old for this, as I'm lifting a 100-pound brake rotor. But I really do feel it's like, look, man, you just gotta burn this to the ground. And I am not the only person in the world who feels this way.
Right, no, I follow you.
And there's a strong argument. You need to wash your hands, don't you?
I'm sticky.
All right, go be sticky. I'll wait for you.
Okay.
All right. You, gentle viewers, all 2 of you or 3 of you, I still don't know if I'm actually counted as a viewer. Go ahead and watch the pots. Watch the pots.
Hot break. Not yet.
Picking up on it?
It's a little bit of motion in there, but it's not quite doing the wormies yet.
Love the wormies. Why? One of my favorite parts about brewing beer.
Alright.
Let's go back to normal can.
It's not pot cam.
We so need a producer. So in any case, there's a strong argument against the burn it all down thing. And it actually is pretty strong. It's like, look, that is just the amount of chaos and destruction that would happen there is just, it sounds good. It's like, there are some people that believe, I don't know, I'm almost kind of one of them. They believe that it's irredeemable. The system is irredeemable. You can't save it. And then there's your wife, who, I don't know where she falls on all this.
Well, at least she didn't walk by and drop an F-bomb.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Microphone's always listening, Brandy. So, I am waiting patiently.
Nice this beer turned out, you know? It's got a nice dark copper color.
Can't believe I'm your friend. You are so mean. So anyhow, talking, it's like, no, you gotta fix what's there. You gotta keep fixing. But the problem is, it's like, you can't fix it. It's unfixable.
Right.
I mean, it will take, basically, it would take generations. Generations of constantly moving in the right direction.
Right. And how feasible is that, though, man? You know?
Yeah, it's not very. I mean, it's not going to happen because we change so often, you know. And we are a society of short memories.
Short memories
You
and
know?
constant division, you know?
Yep.
No matter what the topic is, there's somebody out there that's going to be opposite of it.
Right.
No
And I
matter what.
mean,
No matter what you think, there's always going to be that one other person. You know?
like, there's people that like ghosts. I don't associate with them, but they're out there.
They're out there. Some people do it just to be contrarian. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm this, just a great tension, you know?
Yeah, that is true. Some people do. They just,
Want to be
a jerk. That's the word.
So we're very, very dangerously low on beer now. Oh, I thought that keg was gonna last a little bit longer. I have these, and then I have 2 more beers in the refrigerator, a couple Stellas. I had 2 more beers from Boundary Bay, but I left them at Vinny's house on Friday. So,
Well, if we're gonna drive, we might as well go to the store.
well,
Send your
no, I
wife
have
to the
a.
store.
Let's see, I have a wife that I can ask to do that. 'Cause she probably will.
Too bad we don't live in 1982. You can send your daughter.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just write her a note.
Hey,
My
I
dad
said
says it's okay.
My dad says it's okay. No, that's Brandy. She wouldn't mind going by SARS, grab us a 12-pack of something, you know.
That was a Gen X thing I saw the other day. That's one of the popular things on the Facebooks now. Or in the short video realm, Gen X.
Gen X, huh?
Suddenly Gen X is like, look at us, we're the awesome generation.
Now we're cool.
Yes, we are the cool
We're
generation.
the cool generation now. No. Why is that? Why are we cool all of a sudden?
Because all the political arguments skipped us. All the younger generations, the millennials, what's after millennials? Z?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's Y.
Millennials, Y, Z, and then Alpha. The latest generation is Alpha.
Here's what's dumb about all this. They narrowed the time frames of generations.
That's
Like,
true.
like baby boomers were from like 1940 to like 1968 or something like that. That's a
Right.
significant number of years. And then Gen Xers were like 1969 to 1982, 84.
Yeah,
depending who you talk to.
there's a big
Now,
range.
In a 30-year span, we have 3 generations in there all of
Right.
a sudden. You know, it's like, why do we keep narrowing the boundaries?
I'm
you know?
pretty sure it's like, what time were you born? 1252. Your generation this. But my twin was born at 1251. Yeah, he's generation that.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I don't understand why we keep narrowing the boundaries. Like, what? Why? Is it because there's that much of a difference in the, like, thinking of these groups of people born between the years they're establishing now? You know,
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But, you know, we also get things mixed up, and we tend to, you know,
What do we?
like we're like millennials. Oh, millennials. It's like, millennials are 30 and 40.
They're turning 40 now.
Yeah, they
And,
are
they're
actually.
going to be 40 here real soon.
They're working in their profession. They are actually. Guess what? They actually became productive members of society. You know. But anyways, I think we got skipped. Everybody attacked the boomers. They didn't attack us.
Yeah. Well,
You
most
know?
of us were the offspring of boomers.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
and I guess we were too nihilistic, really, because we didn't attack anyone. We just dealt with the crap we were dealt. You know, it's like, this is my hand. I'm dealing with it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, man. We still kind of do that. Just kind of deal with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, it's like, this is the way it is. You can work to change things, but you know, this whole explosive and getting outraged about everything. This is the thing I don't understand, is how everybody gets outraged about stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you cannot carry that much emotional stress. You are going to hurt yourself. Maybe that's why there's a mental health crisis. And I know how you feel about mental health. You're all about mental health days and mental health care. And wow, that's quite the look. Hey, Steve, tell the viewers how you feel about mental health.
Oh, I don't think mental health is BS or anything. Yeah, mental health is a real thing. There are people that have real problems and need real help. You know what I mean? My thing on it is just I feel like it became this norm. You know, all of a sudden we have to use it as a crutch or an excuse for things. And
Yeah.
that shouldn't be the case. It should be you know, the exception. You know,
Right.
Someone needs to talk to somebody. Sure, get help. Talk to somebody. Let's not normalize it as like a reason to take off work and stuff. It's like take the day off. Why we gotta call it a mental health day? To say, hey, taking a day off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
It's like, man,
enjoy your weekend. You know?
I need a break. It's
I
like,
need a break.
Friday's coming, man. You just gotta go 2 more days. You can make it.
No, my mental health argument is not against the people that really need it. It's against the people that like to self-proclaim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of a sudden it's trendy to be this or it's trendy to be that, or they. I mean, the one that I know that just is the stupidest one when someone self-proclaims they're autistic. It's like, no,
Yeah, now you're gonna get me to rant.
you can't.
That's the one.
You can't
right?
self-proclaim something like that. A doctor has to tell you that. A licensed doctor has to say you're autistic or you have this or you have that.
Yeah.
You know? And just that's where I get tired. That's where it's cringy to me. It's just like, oh, you know.
Well, and the problem with particularly autism is it became the hip cool diagnosis. Just like ADHD was the hip cool diagnosis for a while. You know, It was like everybody had ADHD, and now everybody has autism. It's like,
And see, that's where I have a problem with these things is because it's becoming so everybody has it that it's losing its. I think value is the wrong word to use, but it's losing its meaning or seriousness for the people that really do need it. Because
Right.
now I hear someone who might actually have that problem, and I'm like, probably just saying it because they
Yeah.
want to go to work, you know.
yeah,
And it's not fair to those people that really do need the help, you know.
well, sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people. It's like homeless people. You know, I mean, think about it. It's like there are people that need help living on the streets in this town, right?
Sure, I've seen them.
And there are a lot of people that need just a good kick in the ass.
Yeah.
It's like, you need to go to work. And then there are the people that it's like, Jeff, you know, I actually know some of these people by name.
Yeah,
Jeff.
Giant Jeff.
You have just needed 1 gallon of gas for 8 years now.
Yeah.
8 years you've needed 1 gallon of gas. 1 gallon of gas to get I don't know where. You don't own a car, Jeff.
Right.
I know.
Just making excuses.
You know? But you see that and you feel like you're wasting your money so much. And then you see it's like $5. Oh, I feel better because I gave them $5. And you watch them walk into the store and just pour that $5 down their throat with the cheapest, rot gut, nastiest, wants to call itself beer poison that's on that shelf. And it's just like, no, I don't. That's not good charity. You're not helping people that way. Right. You know, and there's, you know, in arguments on Facebook that I've gotten in, you know, people are like, well, you don't need to judge why they're there and this and that, the other.
just give the help. It's like, yeah, to an extent, but if you're actually helping them damage yourselves, are you doing a good thing or are you doing a bad thing?
Right.
You know, you're not doing a good thing. You know, it's not good to help a heroin addict continue the addiction. I mean, maybe that's a bad discussion. That's a bad point because sudden withdrawal from heroin can kill you.
Right. I know what you meant. I know what you meant though.
But you know
Maybe
my
our-
point.
when
To
you-
enable a person to live a self-damaging lifestyle is not helping them.
Right.
And if all you do is chuck $20 at them and then keep walking, you know, I mean, $20 is still something, but $5. If I lost $5, I wouldn't go look for it at this point in time. You know, the value of $5 is like whatever.
You can't do much with $5 anymore.
Yep. You can't even buy a coffee. I bought 2 coffees today, $12.98. 2 coffees.
Oh, where did you buy these coffees? Starbucks or something? Because they're
Oh,
a
yes.
rip off, you know.
Actually, it was a place called Moe's. It was.
Yeah, I know,
Down
man.
south.
Those fancy coffee shops, you're paying for the flair, man. You're not paying for the actual coffee. Coffee is not expensive.
And it was a drive-up kiosk. Fit.
Right. No, I get it, man. Yeah. $5 doesn't get you anything.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when $5 in gas, and it was like 3/4 of a tank, man.
Yeah, you could drive for a ways on that.
Yeah.
Now $5 gets me 8 miles. If that. Of course, it's my fault. I drive a Suburban with bad gas mileage, but my point is that how can you claim? You know, you give some guy $5. It's like, oh, I've done a good deed. It's like you would not even have looked for that.
Right.
You know, $5 would have blown out of your hand, and you probably wouldn't have even chased it across the parking
Like, oh,
lot.
it's
like,
gone now.
"Ah." It's like you can still see it. Go get it. No, I don't want to. Just $5. Who cares? Somebody's gonna be watching this replay and go like, "What? I'd chase it across it." Yes. Okay. So maybe
Yes.
I'd chase a $5 note.
I'm
across
sure
the
there are
parking
people
lot.
that would chase down the $5, you know.
But the point is that $5 has, I mean, the amount of purchasing power it has is so small that you giving a homeless person $5, you should not feel like you've done some noble.
Right. Oh,
Thing.
look at you, all Mr. Altruistic now, you know.
Yes, you're such a noble, good person. You know, and the problem with people flushing their lives is like you should be wise with your charity. You absolutely should. You know, don't just give it away because it's like, do you want to help or do you just want to make yourself feel better? Because if you're just making yourself feel better, then you're not a good person. You know, you've got to help. That's what you need to do. And I think that's a problem with a lot of people that vote for Democratic platforms because the Democrats do have a lot of really big government programs that ostensibly help these underprivileged, underserved communities, these suffering people. You need a knife? Would you like to use the knife?
Oh, no.
You know, you can just rip it open. Manly man, just rip it open. It's like the Hulk Hogan of hops packages.
Blah. It's awfully frothy.
Mine was frothy too, you know, which is kind of strange for a LME
Yeah.
brew.
Roy?
But truly, they vote for these programs, and the problem with these government programs is they're so wasteful and they're so ineffective. That's one of the attacks on Gavin Newsom is that his homeless program that was supposed to solve the problem in 10 years, after 20 years of using it, has only made the homeless problem worse in California. Now, to be fair, it's like, did his program...
I was going to use my thing. Oh, well.
That is every single
it's in the solution.
day.
It was in the solution.
I'm just chuckling about the fact that every single brew day you say that.
I know I keep forgetting to grab it.
This one does. This is only 2, though. You should be alright.
I know. I should be fine. No, it's annoying. Because I sanitized it to use it.
Yeah, we gotta get it all ready to go.
We're all about it.
And use the sieve, prevent the sludge, and we'll just dump it.
Yeah, we're just gonna dump it.
Okay, yep, yeah, we dump it. Alrighty then.
Yeah, let me get my timer going.
So the point is, you can't say Gavin Newsom's program exacerbated the problem, because there are other things happening within society. And I think you could point to a lot of things. You could point to this feeling that if you follow, and I know you don't do social media, but, in my observations of social media, there's all these arguments against working, about how it's just absolutely wrong that you should have to work. Wow, that's an exciting boil.
Calm down.
Calm. It's okay. It's okay, little pot. No, don't get no, not upset. You're okay. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. That probably didn't help it. But there's this.
No, it's more stable.
It really is a poisonous sentiment about this whole. You shouldn't have to work.
And then how are we going to maintain life?
How are these social programs that are going to keep people alive going to function without the tax dollars from people working?
You guys don't think about that, do you?
So, but my point is, if enough
It's
people
emotionally driven.
Yeah, if enough people buy into that, you shouldn't have to work, then they don't work, and then what happens to them? They become homeless, and then no matter how good Newsom's program is, it might be an amazing program. But
they're not benefiting.
It's effectively, let's say, it's effectively sucking 10,000 homeless people off the streets every year, putting them into good housing and putting them into a situation where they can better their lives. This is Gavin Newsom's program, and it's doing this. We can see it's doing this. It's not, but we can see that, right?
Right.
But California is adding 20,000 people to the homeless rolls every year. It's like, okay, so he's sucking 10 out, but one step forward, 2 steps back, constantly. So that's just basically constantly going back. So you got to be fair, and a lot of people, in real world applications, it's like, oh, look, his program doesn't work. It's like, you need to look at everything before you can say that. Now, in his case, I mean, I just don't think a lot of those programs work. I think the programs that need I think the programs need to be a little more aggressive. That's what I think, and harder. It's like less touchy feely, less do this, more. Here is where you accept responsibility for the decisions you've made in your life. Here's the accountability type stuff.
Oh, I agree.
But I think it requires a holistic approach, and it's not just on the homeless. It's like this broader societal, cultural shift we have against work and stuff, and against participating in society, against just following the norms. It's like, look, man, these norms are, sometimes the norms can be done. The Aztecs had a norm about chopping people's heads off to make it rain. That's a bad norm. That should go away. Right. Yeah, we don't want that norm. The norm that you should show up to work on time and work hard all day long and then go home, and do it again for at least 5 days a week, maybe 5.5, like I had to do this week, And there are other things that are cool too. Like, for example, if you work a person over 40 hours, then you need to pay them extra beyond that.
Right.
Because you can't. I mean, the truth is, there are rich people. I mean, there are people like the guy I worked for, Doyle, who really believed in taking care of his people. And he did it to the best of his financial ability, and he was fantastic, right? Which is why I worked for him, even though I could have gone and earned more money. But I worked for him for 7 years.
You should tell the camera.
Yep, okay, well, I don't know who to talk to. Anyways, I worked for this guy for 7 years. I could have made more money, but he was a fantastic boss. He truly cared about his people. And then there's Walmart, who I think very clearly doesn't care about their people. Or there's the corporate business that bought Doyle out when he retired. I'm not saying they don't care, but I'm saying they don't care because we had a district manager who she quit. Right in the middle of this big changeover, she was like, I can't take it anymore. I want a life. The people above me are not helping me. The changeover was disastrous. You know that. I told you all about it. But it was a disastrous changeover. And
they were like, well, you just have to fix it. You have to do this. They're like, Sheila's, I need support. I don't have the authority to make some of the changes that need to happen. Well, you just deal with it. And yeah, we expect you to work Saturday, and we expect you to do all your other job, because our store was not her only responsibility. She was a district manager.
Yeah, she had multiple stores.
Right? It's like, we expect you to do your other job on Sunday, or maybe, from 8 to 9 at night, or
You
whatever.
pay her well enough.
And obviously they didn't, because she was like, deuces, I'm out. Now, let's see who we got here.
But do we know?
Yeah, it's War9512, who I don't know you that well, but he's from the Discord
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
I've seen that handle many times.
Various comments and posts from War. Yeah.
So the comments are hand up versus hand out. And then he says, I harassed in the bar initially. We will return to that later on. Well, Steve will. He's better at it. I suck at social media, which is weird because I'm on social media so much more than you. But I need to go to the social media where there's people that I can contact.
Oh, that's why I like hanging out on Discord, because yeah, it's kind of a social media thing, but it's different.
It is. It seems more tightly knit,
More tightly knit,
more controlled, less crazy.
Yeah, the community. If you're part of a server, guild, community, whatever you want to call it, it's roughly like-minded people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can disagree with someone on the server, but it doesn't mean you're gonna attack each other and
Right, like in the Aircrom channel.
Yeah.
It is more controlled. But to your question, hand up versus hand out. Yes, that is definitely where we fall, 100%. But even we recognize it's like that's hard to define.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of studies on it. It's not a simple issue at all. I'm imagining you've been here for a while, because we've had 2 viewers for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm one of them, so I'm gonna say that War is number 2 for a while.
Yeah.
But the whole the whole Gavin Newsom, his program might be doing fantastic, but the problem is with other expounding variables that are
Right.
that are defeating it.
Right. There's
It's just like, I have this really good patch for a dam. Unfortunately, the rest of the dam is this.
it only filled this hole very
Right.
well, but it didn't get the rest of
Right.
the dam. Yeah.
Yeah, or it's
You
like,
know.
this patch will stop 20,000 gallons of water. It's like, well, great. Well, we're adding 80,000 gallons of water every day, so your patch ain't gonna do it. You need
Right.
no matter. I recognize that, and I think that actually, people on both sides of the spectrum of the homeless debate, I think they all agree with the hand up versus the handout. I don't think anybody really wants to give a handout. Well, there are some people that would like to give a handout, but I think those are the people that they want to vote in a big government program or something like that and let
Right.
someone else deal with it, right? I don't have to do anything directly because I voted in this Democratic platform who's a big government person, and they have this program. And so now they're just going to do it with taxes, and they're going to do it. And that way I don't have to deal with it. Now you have to deal with it, and I have to deal with it, because now we're paying more taxes.
Right.
Even though we disagree. And maybe we know that the program is not going to work. Seattle had this thing called the navigation team, and they used to, before they would sweep the encampments, because they did that several times, huge homeless encampments, 200-300 people sleeping underneath the overpasses and things. I mean, they were big encampments, little towns.
Right.
And War says, here's a patch, but we drilled 40,000 holes, so it really can't do anything. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually absolutely true. A clever way of putting it, but it's like, I got this thing, and it's like, yeah, but you're just being overwhelmed. But the navigation team would do these things. It was over 90% of the people that they approached said, no thank you, we don't want what you're offering. And some of the homeless shelters that are just going constantly, Salvation Army, Angel Rescue. I mean, there's several shelters down in Seattle
Right.
that are they're private, and they are just going no matter what. They don't give up. They have limited beds because whatever. but they also have rules, and so they have a lot of empty beds all the time. And it's like, yes, come in. We will give you a safe place to sleep tonight. You will not be attacked. We will lock the doors. Nobody will get in, right? Your stuff, we have a locker, but you can't be drunk. And you can't do
Dry
drugs
or
while
whatever.
you're in here. You know, I mean, maybe it's like, all right, we recognize that you are drunk already, but come on in. You know,
You can't drink anymore.
yes, you can't drink while you're here. You can't use drugs while you're here. And people would just, no. I would rather take my chances on the street where some extreme right-winger might come up and burn my tent down with me in it. And that stuff happens, you know, which is monstrous, by the way. That is not the way to deal with homelessness.
No.
You know,
I got you.
although I got that flitted through my mind with the new homeless person living in their minivan at the end of my road.
So, one of those.
And it's just like, oh, why? And the difficulty is, with anyone who's ever lived or functioned in close proximity to homeless people, you know, there are some that are, they just need
They
help.
don't care.
But
Well, I mean,
what you find is trash.
Trash, right? They just don't care.
You find needles. You
Yeah.
find increased crime. All these things happen. These are not. Oh, you think that happens. These are objective things that you can see. It's like, this is what happens when these people show up. You know, now of course we're doing the Marxist class thing. You know, oh, these people, those people. I'm not one of them. It's like, yeah, they're but for the grace of God to an extent. But here's the thing I know. Is that the people, going back to your hand up question or your hand up statement, is that the people who will benefit from the hand up don't actually need it. It gets them ahead a little faster, but those people do not want to be there. And they will crawl out of that hole whether you help them or whether you don't. They're like, I do not like this. I do not like living in my van. I do not like being on the street. I do not like having to sleep with one eye open because some crazy right-winger might Molotov my cocktail my van while I'm in it. I hate this. Or like, I have a friend who was on welfare for a long time. Now, there were extenuating circumstances for him, right? We'll give him some grace there. But the point is, and I once asked him about it. It's like, you know, because we were arguing, and he's a good friend. Navy buddy. But, I asked him, I was like, how does it feel? And he says, it feels shitty. He's like, I do not like being here. I don't like sucking off the government all the time. And that kind of person, and now he's got a great job in aviation. He works on firefighting planes.
Oh,
You know, for the wildfires and stuff. That's
Right,
what he
right.
does, right? You know, he picked himself up and he got out of the hole. Now, like I said, there were some extenuating circumstances for him, some health issues in his family type deal that really kind of kept kicking him. All right, so those are the people I'm like, we need a program called the church or the synagogue or the mosque. I don't care. That's a good place to start. You know, it doesn't have to be Christian. It doesn't have to be Jewish, but I would prefer it not be government because I'm a small government person. You know, or a private secular charity. That'd be great. And those things used to exist, you know. But they kind of got pushed out. The government pushed them out. And some of them were actually successful.
Yeah.
Like they
Hold on real quick. How much time do you left on your flow?
22 minutes and
Oh,
9
wow.
seconds.
Okay.
So I got 12 minutes until I need to add my hops.
Okay.
So I think I'm starting to go in circles on the whole homeless thing. But
Kind of,
still,
but it's okay.
you know, it's just it's interesting. It's one of those things that there's no simple solution to it.
No, there isn't. That's the problem. Is there's no simple solution.
Because the next step, the next class, or the next subgroup of homeless people is like the crazies, right? When I was down at Napa, I kind of separated them into the groups. There's the lazies and the crazies,
Lazies and the crazies. Yeah.
right? They're the lazies. Those guys, they don't want
They
to.
choose to be homeless.
They
They're like,
choose that
I'm
lifestyle.
just gonna choose this
right?
lifestyle because I don't have to do anything, you know.
Exactly, and I mean, I just can't see how that could possibly be acceptable to them. It's like,
What did you notice their age demographic? The commonality among it?
you know, I gotta say the lazies were generally younger.
Okay.
Just they were
Gen Z, you know,
right,
young Gen Xers or whatever.
but
Gen
not
Xers,
all of them.
Not
Not
Gen
all
Xers.
of them.
I didn't mean to say Gen X, but like, you know, late millennial types,
Right.
Gen Z types. Yeah.
But then there were the crazies,
Yeah.
right? And the crazies were legit crazy.
Right.
I talked with one of them, I know a lot of their names. His name was George, right? George was having a rough day, and I'm out there, just at the back of the store, and George comes up, and he's just kind of talking and stuff. I'm like, George, what's going on? And we had this conversation, me and George and this other person. Couldn't see the other person.
Right.
So George had to interpret whatever this other person was saying. But it was like my whole actually it was a 15-minute break, things got fuzzy there. But I was talking to George and kind of helping him not go insane, because George had gone over the edge before. And it's like, we don't need George to go flipping out and get the cops down here.
Right.
Right? But seriously, 3-person conversation. I could only see 2 of the people. One was me and one was George. George is crazy. There's somebody talking to George.
Straight up crazy, yeah.
And he was really upset. It had something to do with, he was mad at this person because they did something to him. I forget exactly what it was, but, anyways, that whole thing. It's just like, yeah, George is one of the crazies.
Right.
George, we need to help. We need to get George off the street. And then you've got the third set, which is the addicts. As a smoker, I can tell you, I appreciate addiction. I get it. Addiction is not easy. And smoking, that's just because I'm stupid. I can't quit. And, I just get cranky. And after I've eaten all the ice cream, all the peanut butter, a whole jar of mayonnaise with nothing but a spoon, and it's like this, I can't stop it. And I go buy a pack of cigarettes. That's what I'm trying
Did
to
you
quit.
say cigarettes?
This is a really good beer.
Cigarettes.
Right?
No.
So that's cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Heroin, as we've mentioned earlier, you don't cold turkey that stuff. It
No,
will
it can
kill you,
Yeah.
right? So now here's another group that we need
Heroin users, meth users,
that we need to help. However, this third
They
group,
don't want to be helped though.
no. But
Sometimes they don't want to be helped. Yeah.
well, sometimes they don't want to have help. But even more importantly, the thing we can't ignore is the fact that, with the exception of the whole sex slave, prostitution, human trafficking trade, where they will inject their victims with heroin,
sure.
get them hooked and keep
Right.
them high,
Keep 'em
so
high.
they can't go. With the exception of that, which those people aren't homeless, they just are slaves. So
Essentially, yeah.
that's a different thing altogether. But with the guys on the street, right? I didn't put that needle in your arm.
No.
I didn't
put that
force
crack
you
pipe
to
in
do.
your mouth.
That's
either.
right. I didn't force you to do any of that, and you need to own it. And there needs to be accountability for that.
Yeah, but there's not though.
There isn't. It's like, we should just give them a tiny house, and that'll make everything better.
Then
No.
Then there's places like Oregon where they have these shoot up houses.
Safe injection
safe
sites.
injection
They
sites. I
call
can't remember
them.
the name of them. Yeah, safe injection sites. That's not helping anything. That's enabling.
That is. It's enabling, and
That's all
these
it's doing.
things, and these things. They get the right batch, and they're done.
Jeez.
Was it you that I was having the whole thing about the necromancy?
Oh, the
that's-
necromancy. Yeah.
We're talking about how EMS, emergency. What does EMS stand for?
Emergency medical service.
Emergency medical services, right? Like paramedics or people that drive ambulances.
Oh, they were necromancers.
They were like
yeah.
necromancers, right? They have their AEDs with their power spells. Clear! It's like, that's your magic word? Fine. Abracadabra! Boom! And they come back to life. It's like, I'm a necromancer!
Dude, we are necromancers.
He's overdue on heroin. Inject the life serum. What'd you make that out of? Well, I like to say it was out of 3 eyes of a newt and 2 toes of a frog. But it was actually made by Big Pharma. But let's call it the truth, the life serum. And now I'm a necromancer! Yeah, we're weird. But, I don't know where I was going with that. Anyways, addiction. I get addiction, but there needs to be...
What was the connection there with the addiction? And you talk about people ODing or something, maybe? Or?
No, I think that was just a wacko tangent because I wanted to talk about the necromancy, and I thought that was funny.
Okay.
It was funny last night. It was funny now.
Strange point to bring it in. But okay.
I laugh hard. But
Anyway.
anyhow, so addiction, but there has to be some accountability. It's like, yeah, we're going to get you back on your feet. We're going to get you fixed up. But unfortunately, you're going to pay whatever, back to society in some way.
Right.
Whether you are you're going to do community service for the rest of until we figure you paid us back,
Right.
or whether we just extra taxes or fees or whatever. It's just like, look, you made a mistake, and now you have to pay for that mistake. You know, and it wasn't a dumb mistake like I didn't know. It was like you can't say, nobody in the United States can say I didn't know.
Yeah,
You
right.
cannot say that. I'm sorry, that information is out there.
Unless you never, ever, ever, ever attended school or something, you know.
Right, and even the Amish do that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because that is the one group you would think, oh, geez.
Well, with the Amish, well,
Yeah, they
know
don't
not-
go to school.
They know not to stick needles in their arms either, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting how the Amish are not talking about their horrible drug problem. Never heard about it.
No, they have their own problems though.
They
From what
do.
I understand.
No, they're not a perfect
There,
community.
there is some problems in the Amish communities as well.
Hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're not perfect. Nothing human is perfect. Nothing
Art
human
project
is perfect.
Yeah, exactly. An article I read. This was in the '90s too. This cracked me up. Wired magazine. I used to subscribe to it in the '90s.
I know who Wired is.
Back then, it was more internet culture. At least what the early incarnations of internet culture were. Because this was the '90s. When the mid '90s when I had this. When I used to get this magazine. But there was an article in there about how some Amish communities were allowing cell phones to be a part of the community. But the elders were getting frustrated because they were noticing a decline in labor output.
Wait, we're talking about the Amish community
Yes.
in the Wired. Okay, continue.
And so remember going back to 1996 on this one.
Right,
Okay?
this is a while ago.
Amish community, they were letting cell phones in because they understood that the world was changing and people did get hurt in the Amish communities. They needed medical services, and so
Yeah, this is
sometimes
something that could be good.
Sometimes they just kind of put their beliefs aside and would let an ambulance come save the life of one of their people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
They're
traditionally-
raising the whole barn wall. And it
Traditionally,
went
they
over
didn't
center.
have they have phones and all that, and in some cases it started with the elders of what a community would allow a single payphone, like in the town square kind of thing. But
Right.
the point is, what I was saying was some of them started saying, okay, we'll let you have cell phones, but after a while they were getting frustrated because output was dropping because these it was mainly the women. This is an attack on women or anything, but it was mainly the women were just too busy chit-chatting on their phones. This was before we had texting and all that. This was
Right. So
Nokia,
they were actually
Nokia
talking.
900. They were talking like and so yeah, I just thought it was so funny, but not so funny, but just an interesting thing to read about in that magazine, that particular article. I forgot why I was going to bring it up now.
Well, because the Amish have their problems too.
Oh, Amish, yeah. Yes, talking too much on the phone is not a mental health problem. I get that. Or an
Right.
addiction problem. In a sense, it was an addiction because they were getting addicted to talking on the phone because it was such a new thing to them.
Right.
It was bringing feelings or endorphins they had never experienced before. Is there another new comment?
Well, yes. I mean, War mentions, he says, you're speaking with too much logic. That would never fly currently. So he does poke a really big hole in all of our wise saving of the world.
Well, I know. Well, no, he's. Oh, is War a dude? Actually, I don't know. What? Is War actually a guy? War, are you a guy or a girl?
That's a serious question.
Because the name War can
We-
it could be anything.
We apologize, but yeah, you do
But
not have
no.
a,
They make a good point though. Yeah, because yes, we do have all these logical ideas, but yeah, they're just not realistic, man. Honestly.
By the way, Jade says hi.
Hey,
Hello,
Jade.
Jade. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah. So we can sit here and solve all the problems in the world logically, but is it going to happen? No.
No, well, it's because well, even you and I, we admit that there's certain things that we don't want to give up. We like the internet. I mean, we're allowed to do this because of the internet.
Sure.
You do the burn it all thing. This kind of goes away.
I don't think burn it all is a good solution.
No, burn it all is not a good solution. As tempting as it is, because the whole burn it all is predicated upon the belief that you could rebuild it in a year.
Which is not realistic.
It's like, no. I mean, how long, for example, the United States, it wasn't like 1776. We're there.
Yeah.
Everything is set up, it's perfect.
No, it took many
It's
years
like,
for everything
no,
to kind of
I
fall
mean,
into
first
place,
we had, what do we have, the Articles of the Confederation? Was that what it was?
That was what it was before that was before the Constitution, yeah.
Right, that didn't
But those
work.
Articles of Confederation were previous to 1776, though.
Right.
You know.
But the point is that this country was built
And there was a lot of things that didn't work.
Didn't work,
We had
yeah.
to fix them.
It's like, it's not working. Let's change this.
So, yeah, that's not good. That doesn't work. You know, the part where states were charging other states tariffs to bring their products across them,
Yeah.
you know, which brought in, and then there's the whole, what's the word? That whole interstate commerce clause, which I think is the most abused clause in the Constitution. That's how they control everything. That's how the federal government really controls the states. They use that interstate commerce clause type deal.
Right.
So War looks down his pants, spins around like a helicopter. All right, dude.
Now we know, War.
Now we know.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I just didn't know because I didn't
No,
see
fair
enough.
enough, you
Didn't
didn't
see
know.
enough posts on on the Discord channel or.
Oh my goodness! 4 seconds.
Oh no!
Not gonna make it.
And this is what happens when we get all in the conversation.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
I know. I'm at 34 minutes left on my boil, so I have a bit to go.
That's why we need.
You want a tab? A roll flock?
What's that?
You want a rolling flock?
No. I'm
Okay.
gonna save that. It doesn't matter that much to me. Floop. All right. So that's it. No. All of you, everybody in the pool. You in there?
I would like to take some out of the gene pool, though.
That?
I would like to remove some, out of the gene pool.
Well.
Thou
yeah.
shalt not procreate anymore.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, you and I differ very much on that. Like, you actually have given serious thought to the whole license to procreate thing, which is something I'm like, I don't know if I can buy that. Although I understand your logic.
Well, it would never happen,
No, well, of course it would never happen. There's a lot of... Everything that we've talked about today will never happen.
You're right.
I mean, let's go for some honesty here. So, okay, so how much time do you have left?
I have 32 and a half minutes, pretty much. I have time.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sanitize the wort chiller. So
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons. Welcome to Pot Cam. We will talk back and forth. The microphone is always on, even if you can't see us on the camera, which is okay. Oh, by the way,
We need more beer, man.
we do need more beer, but hold
But
on.
by the way,
Hold on.
by the by,
Wait.
What?
Need to.
what are you doing? Wait, no, don't touch that.
No, this. Just trust me. Trust me.
What are you doing?
Look at this. Look, see this? See this? See this? See this beauty? This is awesome. Okay, we'll switch back to the camera. Okay, now, I was told by this nice black lady today that I was very handsome and dapper.
Dapper, huh?
I walked out of that gas station like 6 feet high. I was like, yeah,
You don't
I
hear
am
that. You don't hear
handsome and dapper. Well, so I was wearing my nice cowboy hat, my Sunday go beating hat, which
You
looks
had
much
your
nicer
on.
than this. And yeah, my jacket and my nice jeans, and I was dressed up for church, so I did look good in that regard. But she's like, I just gotta tell you, you look so handsome and just dapper. I'm like, I love you.
You're all glowing now. Yes. Why, thank
And I
you.
went and told my wife, and she was like, where is she? I was like, you don't need to know, as we backed out. Just know that you might need to fight for me. How you like them apples, chica?
Nice. All right, you were going to sanitize the wort chiller.
I was going to sanitize the wort chiller. And I'm going to give you this, though, so that you can kind of follow along.
Word is I don't post enough? Haha. Yeah.
You didn't know. All right, no lie. That one's totally on me. I don't. It's like I skimmed through the Discord.
Well, no, I made a comment that I guess I didn't see enough of War's posts over time to determine, if it was a guy or a girl. What I mean?
Right.
So.
But he definitely posts enough. I mean, I've seen that enough to know that name
Right.
or that handle. Absolutely know that handle. And yes, I was going to.
No, you probably post plenty. We just don't see it enough because we don't get on there as much as everybody else might.
Because we're old Gen Xers.
Old Gen Xers, old curmudgeons now.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, 15 years ago that wouldn't have been heavy.
Yeah. And less than 8 months ago, I decided to become a diesel mechanic. Jeez.
I know, right? Talk about a career swap and midlife career swap. Man.
I was talking about that with Greg the other day. He's the guy I work with. I was just like, maybe almost 50 is a little bit old to decide to just start being a diesel mechanic.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. We were airframers in the Navy, and there's parallels there. At least the mechanical stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not all the theory and operation, but mechanical stuff fits. Nuts and bolts and metal and things.
Oh, there's nothing hard about this job.
Yeah,
With the exception of big, heavy pieces
stuff,
of
yeah.
metal.
Yeah, you see that radiator? Yeah, I think it's 1,000 pounds.
1,200. I have one sitting in my
1,200
shop.
pounds.
1,200
That is
pounds.
ridiculous.
Now, it's not just
That's
a
not
radiator.
even a two-man lift, man. Come on.
Nope, that's a crane.
That's a crane.
It's a cooling system for a loader, but it is sitting in the shop right now.
How big is this loader, man? Could it load my house?
You could probably fit your truck in the bucket.
Damn.
I mean, if
That's
you,
a big
if you
piece of
scooped right,
machinery.
your truck would rock back in and he could pick up your truck.
That's a huge loader.
Yeah, it's a big loader.
My truck is a Tundra, by the way, so it's not a giant truck, but it's not a small
full size pickup.
Not a small fry either,
No, your truck.
So yeah, if my truck would fit in that loader, in that what'd you call it?
The bucket.
The bucket.
The bucket.
Yeah, that's a big piece of machinery.
Yeah, the fuel tank, empty, weighs 500 pounds. That's what we did yesterday.
Jeez.
How much time do I have here?
Like 6 minutes probably.
4.
4.
But yeah, so it's not so much the technical problems, and a lot of it from just basic mechanical stuff. Internal combustion engines, suck, squeeze, bang, blow. That is true whether you're talking about a jet engine or whether you're talking about a regular gasoline or a diesel engine. Sucks the air in, squeezes the fuel air mixture together, makes it explode, right? And then it blows it out the exhaust.
Right. No, War commented. He kind of responded to the when I said like you out of the gene pool thing. He was saying someone could have a baby, but to get a pet you have to be approved by someone to have a pet, but it's not needed for children. Yeah, right.
I know it is. It's a weird.
He said, "Can you imagine having to do parenting classes? Parenting classes prior to having children. I think that would be a very good thing. Offer them for free. Just general parenting for new parents, especially like if you're young.
Yeah. So here's the difficulty. And this is as with everything, nothing is straightforward, right?
Yeah, I know it's not that.
We
easy.
start walking down the whole. You have to be licensed to be a parent. Well, then we start.
No, I didn't mean license for parenting, but if they just would require a parenting course or something, maybe that would help with some of these people that become parents maybe unexpectedly and just bomb it because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, and they don't have any support. Maybe they don't. Maybe their parents are drug addicts, and so they don't have any support from their parents. Maybe they're too young, which teenage pregnancy kind of thing.
What's interesting? I was just listening to something the other day, and they say that single motherhood hasn't declined all that much, but teenage single motherhood, which used to be the bastion, used to be where the single mothers
Yeah, I
were.
remember. Yeah, I remember
Teenage single motherhood has declined significantly.
Well, that's a good thing, I would say.
Yeah, which makes me wonder where all the other single mothers are coming from. But I imagine divorce is a big part of it, and just
divorce and just maybe divorce and then just going out and just doing things and not taking the precautions.
Do you remember decades ago the whole Murphy Brown and Candace Bergen?
Yeah.
One of her things was she made it very public. I'm going to have a child without a husband. I don't need a husband. And there is no study on the face of the planet that supports the idea that single parenting is better than dual parenting. every study across the board.
Yeah.
It's like there's not a single one that says having one parent is better than having two parents. I mean, there are always exceptions, but again, this is back to the whole outlier thing. It's like, yeah, but the one parent was like violent and used a frying pan against her husband and beat her kids with a, not a drumstick, but a 2x4. It's like, okay, yeah, in that case, having two parents is kind of a bad deal. It's not having two parents, it's having that particular psycho
exceptional circumstances there.
Right, those are outliers. And of course, I'm hyperbolic. I'm making it excessive. But that whole, you can't include that. In general, two parents, And we won't delve into the gay parents versus straight parents thing, because that will just go. But still, two parents better than one parent. Every time, all the time. Just based on the fact of time. Like me and Wendy, there's no way I could have done my kids by myself. I mean, we've played the single parent thing before when Wendy had to go home to New York, and so I was doing that. But for one thing, the boys were older at that point, right? When they were kiddos, not happening. No. Not happening, man. I'd have gone nuts. I just couldn't. I would not have been able to do it. I needed Wendy. Needed her.
All right, you're gonna need a plugman here in a second.
I am gonna need a plugman. Okay, people. You might hear us talking in the background, but why don't you just watch Steve's thing? If it starts to boil over, yell really loud and let us know.
That's right. I have, about 13 minutes before I need to put my next hops in there. So, I don't think it's going to take 13 minutes to take care of your chilling.
No, it shouldn't. Gotta fix that. No, we need to do. By we, I mean you. Sell your motorcycle. Water on! Water off! You think that the number of times that I've had to search around your garage for a random rag, I would learn to bring gloves or something. This'll work. Water on! Oh! Step on that split in the hose or something. I'm gonna buy you a new hose. Go.
Oh no, I was asking Steve if he can put this in there for me. Thank you.
Can you do some things for us?
No.
Come on, you know we love you. You're our favorite wife of Steve. Actually, you're the only wife of Steve.
She's the only wife.
When you put the bins next to the rose bush, can you be careful?
Did I squish something?
Uh-oh. I don't think I did that.
No, this is the second one. The first one I already pulled off.
I don't think I did that.
Well, I just moved it over. Look, that's where the wheel was.
Okay. Well, if I did that, I'm sorry, but I'll pay attention. I really don't think I did that. I think the deer.
No, that's not the deer. The deer just eat it. They don't break it down. Oh, the sewing machine's getting wet.
There we go. Water in this It'll be fine. It'll dry. It'll dry.
Hopefully that doesn't ruin it.
It's not gonna ruin it. Not like it was plugged in.
It doesn't have to be put in. It's got electrical components.
It should be okay though. It was fresh water.
Some things aren't
It was-
meant to get wet.
If it was salt water, that'd be a problem.
Guess I'm gonna go in through the garage door. 'Cause I choose not getting drenched.
Watch out for cable. Here, I'll lift it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So did you have that amount of time until the 10-minute mark or until you were done?
10-minute mark.
Oh wow, you had a lot of time left.
You're only taking to 80, right?
Yes, Steve.
Okay.
I'm actually totally with you on that, dude. You know, because I pay the utilities for my mother-in-law's house, and of course she's not there, so that house hardly gets used. Still pay $180 a month for not using water. It is stupid expensive. For not using water, Steve. All right, 82 is close enough. Water up. No, go ahead. Water off, man. We're at 80. Close enough. We're gonna add the chill water and all the other stuff. We're well below the everything's going on processes thing.
Right. I mean, all you gotta do is get 100.
Yep. We're just overachievers,
80 is just a nice to have because it gets it closer to pitching temperature.
right? All right. Water on. And water off.
Here, so let me get on this side. Will you hand me that soda?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to do that with the cable in the way is just
No,
not.
that's it. That's it.
That's not going to be very fun.
There you go.
All right. Thank you.
Go back to normal cam. There are like a whole bunch of comments on there now.
Oh, we're just going to have to catch up then. As we
Yep, you're fine. Have a sit down. Relax. Read the comments.
all right.
Entertain.
I'm going to catch up on the comments here. Okay, all right.
You gotta cue me in because I'm working over here.
Worst commenting on all the comments that were like my wife was talking about the sewing machine getting wet. Don't ruin the sewing machine, it's expensive.
Microphone is always on.
I know, right? He's like, don't ruin the roses. He's scolding me. I didn't ruin the roses. I know I didn't break that branch. There's no way I was anywhere near the thing. Alright, what am I at? 3.5 minutes to get my hops ready.
What did you say?
I have about 3.5 minutes before my next hop edition.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna stand by. Alright. 1 ounce of UK Fuggle. 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 I guess if I wanted to make a beer that was based off Fuggles, I can call it a Mother Fuggler, you know? Oh, need a kniff. Alright.
Give me your card.
Oh, yeah, let me give you that.
What I'm
Shit.
buying.
Make a noise. What's that? 12-pack of something.
You want the 18 of the.
Do they have all these there?
Yeah.
At SARS?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do the 15-pack of the
Oh,
holidays.
yeah, the 15.
Okay, did you just add your final hop edition?
All right. Here you go. Thank you for running.
The end of our broadcast.
He asked you if you've done something. You asked him a question. He wasn't out here when you asked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I know the answer actually. Let's sit down. Let's shut it down, man.
Well, check out what Laura was saying. There might be something you want to comment on.
Alright, we'll scan Laura's valuable input. See what we got going on here.
I'm gonna do a word flash.
Let's say Sunday best. Oh, there's stuff that's getting deleted from the top. Don't ruin the here, dear. Alright, they can make our toys and hobbies look cheap. I know a lady who has one that costs more than most entry-level cars.
Jeez.
I thought a watch pot never boils. That's not true. But an unwatched pot boils all over Steve's garage, and then we clean beer up off the floor.
We've literally mopped my garage floor. I don't know of any garages that get mopped, except for mine. Yeah, we've had a few boilovers over the years.
All right, so yes. So Jade says the math isn't mathing. Oh, it never does. I mean, come on. You know what broadcast you're in, so you know what.
Right. Yeah, Jade's been with us for a while.
And the final one is, oh, sorry, I might have redacted a few because they are controversial. No lie. I am not afraid of controversy. In fact, Steve isn't either. We only try and be well behaved because we don't want to turn into some flame war thing. That's because that can be not fun for people. But you got a comment, figure out a way to nice say it if you can, and we will argue the point. And if we disagree with you, which may or may not happen, we're not going to come at you like you're a stupid idiot. We're going to take your comments seriously, and we'll say why we disagree. But the important thing is here, so Steve's got about 9 minutes left now. And so now things are going to be back and forth and up and down and craziness. And so this is usually about the time that we shut it down. So, you want to do the tagline, or you need to prepare, harness your chi or anything?
I'm good.
Okay, you're good? All right, so as we always say at the very end, relax,
Don't worry.
have a homebrew.
Which we're out of homebrew now.
Oh, well, that's,
We floated the keg.
that's a problem. How do you, where's the end?
Is this working?
Where's the, oh, there's the button. Okay. This is
So
how we really
professional.
end.
We were so professional.
We need a producer, I'm telling you. Hey, thank you very much for showing up, guys. I can't ruin my chances of running for office. All right. Okay, we've got to go. Thank you very much for being here. See you next time. Bye. That was good. That was a good broadcast, if you ask me. And the software didn't die.